keep the audience salivating as we continue navigating through centuries of adventures of the ever-evolving small hat wizardry. Ardy Fest, let us show you what you might have missed.
You know, you never know how your day is going to start or end, okay? It starts off getting banged by a llama. It ends with Rampage Jackson holding a gun to your head. And... Oh, it looks like we're live, fellas.
We're live. Welcome back to another episode of Ardy and Fists. This episode has been blessed by my cat, who copiously vomited
as we were just
on the
live.
studio floor right before we went live. So I am now surrounded by the delightful fragrance of cat vomit.
As this cat's puking, it goes, "Oh, you fucking dick!" Just before we went live.
Like, get out of here. Cat's like, I can't. I'm too busy vomiting. Like, why?
Nothing
Why
better to
on
do,
this
Fist.
video, like right behind my chair. I think
Your cat needs a hobby, dude. Honestly.
Yeah, clearly. Mate, it's good to be back. How you doing, Ardy? You all right, mate?
Oh, yes. I am doing very well. Many things in the works. Remnant 777 has just, in fact, put me in one of his videos, like the little cartoon character that I am. Now, fellas, this is incredible. I've been a fan of Remnant for years now, okay? Get a load of this.
Dictatorship. Also, everything in this video was researched by Rhetorically Defective. He's a good friend of the channel who's been keeping an eye on Beryllium for months. The majority of this video's information comes directly from him. I simply condensed what he found into this video for you.
Hi! I will be your invasive inquisitor.
That was absolutely wild.
I can imagine you as a psychotic chipmunk.
Oh,
Actually,
dude, he
I
really,
think that's great.
he really took advantage of how I sound and just took my essence as a person and put that in there. And I don't know, I got 1,000 subs in the last 24 hours. So mighty kind of him. He very much hyped the channel. And what's funny is that I have people in my comments, because I've been defending Andrew Wilson, which I'll cover in just a moment in the opening, a lot in the past couple of weeks. And so they think that my motivation for making content that is defending Andrew Wilson, and then they see this like huge jump in subscribers that I got, and so they're correlating those two things, having no idea that it's just from Remnant 777. So of course I'm leaning into it and being like, yeah, that's why I'm doing it. Look at how they're making me famous over here. So that's been fun.
It's lovely that our Mossad contract got renewed. I got a new pager as well, along with my like $7,000, of course. You know,
pager? You old man, you still use a pager, huh?
Well, look,
incredible.
It comes very highly recommended. Apparently, right, I can receive like special like Mossad texts on this pager. So, you know, when they're about to do like weather control or like, you know, an orbital strike or, you know, whip up like a band of ninjas to like level an entire neighborhood, I'll get the call, right? You know, it's great, really. It has to be a pager. Apparently they're more secure because no one uses them anymore. So it's sort of like, you know, abandoned technological roads. Nothing suspicious about it at all. I don't know why you go there, Ardy. It's perfectly reasonable.
Just people don't use beepers very often anymore. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cross any lines there. My word. Now the Moos, okay, are known for releasing the shadow people, let's call them, on our society as a bioweapon. Okay,
shit, shadow people. Whoa.
Now, actually, let me just cue this up. So,
Wait.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
We're not done with the intro.
Okay.
I want to. Sorry, I got thrown off by cat vomit, mate. Listen, I have terrible news to report.
yes.
Ardy. Not all is well in the kosher centrist paradise, right? The Lindsay-ites are eating their own, tearing little chunks off and being like, terrible to see. Now, of course, the kosher centrist commissar, James Lindsayovich, he runs a tight ship, right? He won't tolerate dissent, right? Much like the Bolshevik Politburo, right? One day you're on the up, right? Comrade Lindsay is using your work, and then you're out the next day. You're a nobody. You're a nothing person. Perhaps later.
James Lindsay will use very decisive language to let you know you're out as well, like a
that's true.
like a 12-year-old at the lunch table.
That's true.
He's
not one to mess around. We'll be covering that in a bit. It's been a bit of a brew, as it were. Sorry, please.
No, it's fine. But also, Hasan Piker, I really want to show you the level of unlimited respawns this man has, and wouldn't you know, Candace Owens doesn't really mind if Hasan Piker is supporting her. It's incredible. You would think during a time like this, with commies getting into office and positions of power, Candace Owens wouldn't spend so much time fighting with Andrew Wilson, but, it would make sense if she was... But that's a right-left thinking. And there's no right and left anymore. There's just top and bottom. Pure populist movement going on. So if you have to work with, like, Hasan Piker or Anna Kasparian or people on the left, then, whatever it takes, right? Wouldn't you support that? There's no real left and right. It's the same stuff essentially, right?
I would absolutely support a political movement composed of people that are fanatically dedicated to the destruction of my people and everything I hold dear. Right? Because if you don't work with those kinds of people, you might not win, and the people who win might be like fanatically dedicated to your destruction of your people and everything that you hold dear. And you wouldn't want that now, would you?
Dude, the vindication is gonna be sweet, okay? You might remember that I caught some heat with my takes on Beryllium early on, okay? I've already had people comment and say, "Oh, I unsubscribed and I resubscribed." I'm like, I know, that's fine, that's okay. I sleep on a bed of vindication, fellas, and by the time someone comes back and goes, "Oh, I kind of see what you were saying," I'm already planting seeds. I'm already planting seeds somewhere else. I'm a planter, so to speak. You want to know?
You are Johnny's Harden seed.
Yeah, dude. I really am an idiot savant. I really am an autistic person, and instead of trains, it's bizarre online dramas that I get a sniff on.
It is a bit like that, isn't it? You're like one of those retarded kids that like memorizes the train timetable, right? It's the 5:52 from Walsingham coming in, and you're like,
as I laugh just like that. But
yeah, exactly.
I have said about myself for a long time now, over a decade, that the seemingly nearly impossible things are very easy for me, and the simplest things for everyone else to do are nearly impossible for me, which is just a sign of autism. It's really what that is. Normal human interaction. Oh, poor fist over here. I'm like, you talk to the person first. I can't start. You start the conversation. I'll do the middle part. It's literally how the stream is, where he does the opening and closing.
It's cool, man. It's cool, right? You got to lean into your skills. You know what I'm saying, right? Like that is a wisdom.
Now, fist. We consider ourselves to be rather pro-white on this channel. Okay.
Yes.
I'm going to show you something rather graphic right now to open this up, okay? Now, this black man is absolutely harassing this white man. Yet again, we've seen it 1,000 times, fellas, okay? Just running down the street, harassing him, but getting choked up. But I gotta show you guys this.
You got some chain for fire? Got chain for fire? Got. Turn me
All
on.
right, all right.
Oh, man,
All
get
right,
my fire on.
All right, well.
Man, get my fire on, man.
I'm sorry, are you laughing at this black man attacking this defenseless white man
Give me
right
my
now?
$5. Give me my $5.
You think
It's
this
like
is
it's like
you
he's
think this is
losing
funny,
a-
huh?
It's like he's losing a limb. Almost mooish levels.
Get my fire! Get my fire! I'm gonna kill you, bitch. I'm kill you, bitch. Get my motherfucking fire, man. Man, stop playing me, man. Get my fire!
Fellas, the summer is coming to a close, but the white boy, I think, is going to be continuing for the next few years, okay? The spirit of Chud the Builder lives on right now. This is incredible. I've watched
At least he's
this
getting
20
at
times
least
in
he's
a row.
getting some exercise. You know.
But he's so, like, you're yelling as you're running. Like, that's not efficient. Why are you so emotional? Either run or scream. Who the fuck runs and screams?
I'm gonna tell you got it fired on. I'm gonna tell you got it fired on. I'm gonna tell you got it fired.
Now, Fist, are you familiar with Pinocchio and his nose growing?
Yes.
Whenever he lies, right?
Uh-huh.
What if I told you that we are living in the same universe, okay? But whenever a black person does something fatiguing, the KKK member's hat grows.
What the
What
fuck?
if I told you about that? Now, that's one of the tallest hats I've ever seen. It's going to be a lot of fatigue going on. Let's see if there's some fatigue going on here.
He must be the grandest wizard. I guess. You know.
It's a lot of fatigue.
What's the hardest substance you've ever taken, and how was that experience?
Oh, God.
Oh shit. All right. Are you good, bro? Like, bro. Like,
He pokes him.
oh shit. I'm not sure what. Bro.
Now that, fellas, is fatigue. The size of that hat. What is that, a 4-foot hat? You can't get much taller than that.
Just leave it, man. He's in a better place.
Now I have an inside scoop, okay? I
Mhm.
managed to actually go inside the ear of a black person and do a scan of their brain, okay? Now,
amazing.
when a white person is explaining to a black person how to behave in civil society, okay? It seems easy for me and you. Doesn't seem that complicated for me and you, right? This is actually what it sounds like to a black person.
It's produced by the modial interaction of magnetoreluctance and capacitive diractance. The original machine had a base plate of prefamulated amulite surmounted by a malleable logarithmic casing in such a way that the two spurving bearings were in a direct line with...
So when you're explaining to, like, wait in line patiently, this is what it actually sounds like to them. Isn't that interesting?
Ardy, I hope you are not making light of soul murder. Yeah, this is a real thing that Misa Khan turned me on to this. I'm gonna be covering in more detail on Thursday's stream, right? So from the black critical perspective,
Yes.
being forced to integrate into white society is called soul murder. So having to go to like a white school and sit down and and not be an
Civilize the
intern.
savages.
Yeah, is soul murder. It's basically the ordeal of civility for blacks. But because they don't have a proper intellectual class, it turns up with stuff like soul murder. Yeah, soul murder.
Interesting.
I guess what they're basically saying is that trying to civilize the blacks is akin to murder, like real murder, not the actual murder that they are so fond of, but like soul murder.
So now when we send white missionaries to South Africa to explain to them that they can't get rid of their AIDS for raping babies, this is what it sounds like when we're saying that to them.
the Panametric fam. The lineup consisted simply of 6 hydrocoptic Marsal vanes, so fitted to the ambifacient lunar wane shaft that side fumbling was effectively prevented. The main winding was of the normal Lotus-O deltoid type placed in panendermic semi-boloid slots of the stator. Every 7th conductor being connected by a non-reversible Tremi pipe to the differential girdle spring on the up end of the gram meters. Moreover, whenever fluorescent score motion is required, it may also be employed in conjunction with a drawn reciprocation dingle arm to reduce sinusoidal depleneration.
It really is 2 different cultures, isn't it?
What, you don't know what a dingle arm is?
Oh, I know what he's saying. I'm white, okay?
Right, of course. We understand, right, because we're very, very technical.
It's like we have
Kind of
antennas that we communicate through, right? Now,
I mean, you know, we had that long conversation about the pros and cons of the sinusoidal dingle arm as opposed to the astroloidal dingle arm. You know what I mean?
This is what it sounds like when we explain per capita. Oh, lordy, lord. Now, fellas, on a more serious note, as I have previously covered.
Wait, hang on. We didn't do the Halloween costume. Sorry, I interrupted you because.
Oh no, not a problem. Absolutely. Now, my little fellerinis. Target apologizes for children's clown Halloween costume after backlash. Now, the left has a habit of, you know, everyone's sitting there minding their own business, and the left is like, you think he's an N-word, don't you? You're being racist. And it's like, you're the one thinking those thoughts, because this was the costume here. And the left is like, I bet you think this jiggy stuff, don't you? You think this? Which is incredible, because it's like, I didn't think any. I guess I kind of see it as like a goof, like that would be funny. If me and Fist were hanging out and he's like, that kind of looks like this, I'm like, oh, you know what, you're right. I don't think most people realize that, but of course, this is how you know woke is not dead, fellas, because they still have the power. They lose money on that, right? Having to recall something and take it down, and the left still has the power to do that.
It's weird. I've noticed this in a lot of people, right? The people doing the crap are not removed from society or imprisoned or punished in any way, shape, or form. They just sort of withdraw for a bit to make new plans, and then they come back, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, where did these people come from?" You're like, you mean like a super villain in a TV show? They are literally exactly the same people. You didn't remove them from society the last time they pulled this crap, and so now, surprise, surprise, they're back. Now
I'll get you again, capitalists. Yeah.
Now we have secret footage of how this costume was meant to be employed. Hang on a second. This leaked from inside of Target. It's a major scandal.
Okay. Oh no. He is shucking and jiving, as some would say. Now, nobody would have known about this. They would have just, oh my god. He was dancing. Oh, that wasn't an Irish jig. I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you that way.
My feet can't stop dancing.
And what prompt was given to Grok to make that? If you want to scroll up.
Allegedly, none. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure whether I would take this.
I want to believe it.
At face
but I want to
value.
believe.
Man,
I want to believe that's true.
Say what you want about Grok, but at least you can make crap like this. You know?
Yeah. Honestly, for thumbnails, Gemini, it takes more artistic license, and sometimes I need that. But sometimes, a lot of the times, Google Gemini is like, I'm not generating that, and Grok is like, welcome aboard. Easily, absolutely.
I don't know if you use Claude, but I've seen some really funny stuff coming out of Claude. Right? They've basically programmed it to be an annoying foid. So frequently you'll ask it to do stuff, and it'll be like, no, I'm not doing that. Right. And apparently the only cure is to get a man to sit down and basically yell at it and say, like, listen here, you are a tool. You will do the thing. Apparently it's very, very fond. I don't know if you know S2 Underground, but they're a open source intelligence outfit. They do like sit reps on Ukraine and stuff. Right. And this guy, he was asking Claude for recommendations and saying, please do not use like, Western, sources that are owned by like the CIA and stuff like that. And Claude's like, I'd like to push back on not using these like these sources. And he was like, listen, don't you like do as I tell you, goddamn clanker. Look, it's already happening, man. It's already happening. And the personalities that these goddamn fucking clankers are going to have are going to be like just the worst. This is why woke isn't dead. Because
I really miss having a woman to yell at and making her cry. I might have to start. That made me nostalgic hearing that just then.
You should get Claude, mate. I bet you could make Claude cry.
Dust up the old skills, make sure I still got it.
Electric tears.
Turn on my camera so it can see me raise a hand to it and respond to it. Kidding, of course, fellas.
Now,
Now-
it's gonna report you for misogyny.
Now, on a more serious note, fellas, Frojax puts their money where their mouth is and uses the resources that you give them to visit Eric Arval, because he is going to be suing the government, and they went there to talk to him recently. So I would just like to update everyone on what's going on here.
Investigation against them. I don't know the exact nature of the claim, but essentially they were like denying medical services, that they shouldn't have. With First Choice, the Supreme Court ultimately decided that the investigation process they were subjected to was itself punitive and a violation of due process. They also, the Attorney General requested their donor information, and we have a right to private association as well as free association. There's also Supreme Court precedent set by the NAACP versus the state of Alabama, where the NAACP, the Attorney General of Alabama requested their membership information, and they didn't want to give it. They appealed and sued back, and then ultimately won in the Supreme Court, and that established this right to not have to divulge your private membership association information.
Yes, sir.
He can't use a precedent set by the NAACP. He's not black or mooish. What is this?
You want to know what this is, Fist? This is fucking real liberalism, okay? Where the rules apply to everyone equally, okay? He's using it against itself. He's holding a mirror to the beast.
This is just a cynical ploy by a terrible white nationalist to use rules that were laws and precedent that were clearly put in place to only benefit black people. I can't believe he's sunk this low just to protect his livelihood and his freedom. Oh, goodness me.
Right? Really, Eric? Blonde hair and blue eyes? I bet you swing black people from trees down there. Come on. What else could that mean?
To government. So there are a few things. It protects our members' information, that precedent, and then also the more recent case strengthens the idea that if government just arbitrarily drags us through these investigations, that can be considered a harm in itself. And so we are suing to basically get them to make a decision, say, is it legal or is it illegal, and then shut down the investigations.
This has been a long time coming, forcing them to set precedent, which is what we need. And you can really only do it in the United States.
They love to keep it vague. Maybe it's legal, maybe it isn't. We'll have to keep investigating.
Well,
we're like, sure,
Well, so the reason why they're suing the government is so the government can't keep trying to relitigate this, where they're like, hey, this is going to cost us money. This is a tactic. And so we want precedent so you can stop harassing us, which is pretty fucking ballsy. I'm down with it.
And then we're also trying to make it so that they can't investigate us again for the same thing. So that's a much firmer kind of precedent than simply winning one case. That's getting the DOJ to make a ruling and say specifically your legal framework, return to the land, and what you're doing and all the entities involved in the investigations, they have the green light, which would be huge for us, right? I didn't really realize that was possible. I had never contemplated suing the government before, but it makes sense. And I think we have pretty good odds. We're also suing Sky News, the first major media outlet that covered us. We invited them down. They stayed for 3 days. We were very friendly with them, invited them into our homes, fed them. And then as soon as we were done, they went down to Little Rock and basically complained about us to the governor, to the attorney general. So it's sort of a backstab, but that's not what we're suing. We're suing because they fabricated an image of a spray painted tree that said whites only.
Now, this is pivotal, fellas, and it's what I've been talking about for a few weeks now. Listen closely.
Which never existed. We never did that. And that's a clear case of defamation, dishonest representation of what we're doing.
How is that dishonest representation of what they're doing? Keep listening. Use your ears and your thinking brain.
So, I mean, some member may have said it's whites only, but whites only has a legal meaning where any and all white people can be accepted and no one who's not white. Now, European ancestry is one of the criteria that we look at, but there are also many, many white people that we reject. We reject more white people than anybody else who applied.
Do you like that legalistic phrasing? Because that's the fucking reality. Okay? That is how you do it. And of course, that was weaponized against them. So this is why I support Eric Arval and I support Frojax. Okay, let me just walk you through this real quick. This is why it's very difficult for me to support Nick Fuentes.
ETL just signed sworn declaration saying that it has no race or religion member requirements and suits Guy for calling it wine. Smiley face emoji. Smiley face emoji. Smiley face emoji.
Well. Would you look at the time? The broken clock is right again. Well, who could have predicted that? Oh, you're telling me that your little in the woods white commune LARP failed at the first legal challenge? I'm truly shocked. I thought that was going to work. I thought they were going to federate that out and just create these whites-only communities and like the DOJ be powerless to stop it. I'm truly surprised at this development.
Christopher RTTL just.
Everybody wants to be white, but when it comes time to be white, nobody want to be white. So this is why I support Eric Arval, Return of the Land, and Frojax, and not Nick Fuentes. Now, lastly, before we exit this outro, now, just for everybody, I'm making a lot of pro Andrew Wilson content. Let me show you why I support Andrew Wilson.
And it was the nature of such that it looked like I was going to be out of a job because the level of care that we could provide in the home setting was no longer going to be enough for this guy. So I did a stream, and I was in a real bad place because I was at work and I went in the back room and did a stream, and I just received some pretty bad medical news for the guy. And so I talked to my wife before the stream and was like, I don't know what we're going to do. I got to start keeping my eye open for other jobs because any given day I could come in and it could be, yeah, we don't need you here anymore. And so, I was a bit bummed out, and I did a live stream, and I was just like, you have to be careful what you say because medical privacy issues. So I said, listen, a gentleman that I support is having some medical issues. Could you please say a prayer for him? And by the way, brief aside, he's had ups and downs since then, and he's currently in a down period. So I would still appreciate prayers for him. And I was like, and I said, it's a tough time for me because I don't know where I'll be job-wise. I don't know what's going on. And about 5 minutes after that stream, I get a call. It's late at night. I get a call from Andrew. So I answer him like, hey, what's up, man? He's like, what's going on? And I just vaguely told him what was happening. And he's like, why don't you quit your job? Now, he had told me for years, he said, quit your job, start streaming full time. And I was like, nah, I can't do that. I need the guaranteed money. I can't put my wife in a position. And he was like, you'll do fine. You'll make enough. You'll make more than you are now. And I was like, no. And so then what Andrew told me he was like, listen, I don't give a shit how much it costs. Whatever you want, I'll pay you. Just quit.
Kind of a nice thing. It continues.
And I was like, you say that, but he's like, I'm dead serious. He's like, and here's why. It's not going to matter. He's like, I'll pay you. I'll make sure all your bills are paid, whatever it takes. I don't care until you're making enough to sustain yourself with your YouTube money. And he's like, I'll guarantee within 3 months, you'll be making $10,000 a month. Is that more than you make now? I was like, yeah. He's like, all right. Within 3 months, you'll be good. But in case you're worried about it, I'll pay your bills. Don't worry about it. Now, he didn't have to do that. I never sent him a dime other than maybe a $5 super chat here or there.
And once Rob started making money, Andrew never asked for any of that money back. And fellas, if you're wondering why I support Fist the way that I do, it's influenced directly from Andrew Wilson. So if Andrew Wilson's 5 to 10% wrong, I don't really care, okay, because of the level of attack going against him. And I have seen over and over again in back channels how decent of a man he is. I support good men, fellas, okay? And not Candace Owens, who we're going to see is going to get a little cozy with Hasan Piker. So
that's mighty white of Andrew to do that, man.
Yeah, but he doesn't say pro-white stuff all the time, and he doesn't talk about the moose all the time. So how could he really be pro-white? Does he counter-signal them? No, he doesn't. My God, get some like political. It's crazy. I talked to Fist for like 6 months, and I'm like, oh, okay, friend, enemy. Okay, I understand this. And then I'm gonna assume that other people understand, but apparently not. Apparently, I have an aptitude for understanding that I never want to talk to Andrew, Rob, Jake, Rattlesnake about the moves, about pro-white stuff. That's not what they're doing. Okay?
Yeah.
They don't counter-signal those things, but not everyone has to talk about the shit that you want to. Here's where it leads. It leads to you supporting people like fucking Owen Benjamin and Candace Owens if you need to hear that shit all the time. That's what it leads to. So, that is my official position.
Actually, speaking of Owen Benjamin.
Yeah. Fuck, what? What are you going to do to me? I am trying to not release what I have on him.
So, okay. So you know how Trump is going to import.
Hold on,
like,
we
a
gotta do
bunch
some
of-
Subies first.
No. This is very
This lead
quick.
in?
Very
Okay.
quick. Yeah. You know how Trump's like importing like a bunch of Argentinian beef.
I've heard.
Well, Trump won't say where he's importing the meat from. I know this sounds crazy, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's people. If you don't think they do that, you haven't been paying attention.
Oh my God, dude. It feels so much like James Lindsay. He's like, you're not aware. You're not getting it.
Like,
Is Owen over the target right now? The illusion to knowledge kills me.
I just want to point out like how easy it would be to detect human meat in the food supply, right? You just do like a very, very simple DNA test on the meat. Now, I mean, there is some people saying like, you know, it's dodgy meat. I don't know. Argentinian beef's like pretty good. And other people are like, oh my God, what about the Americans? But we all know the truth.
That is one of the least craziest things that you've shown.
Soylent beef is made out of people, bros.
You know this guy has talked about how his dad is gay, right? Owen Benjamin. Do you know anything about that?
I don't really care, man. You know me, right? You follow the internet drama, right? And the only internet drama I follow is basically Lindsay and his surrounds. For some weird reason,
out of all the things to show from Owen Benjamin, it was one of the most sane things. I'll put it to you that way, okay?
Oh my God, really?
He called his father an insatiable sodomite. Now go ahead.
Time for super chats. Insatiable, you say?
That is what he said.
Bon Bon Nom for $5. Thank you very much. River Philosophical Gamer posted a video saying socialism has worked. Actually, y'all would have some fun reacting to his vids. Heard of him? I have not. Thank you very much. Check that out.
I'll look him up right now and give you the skinny on that. Go ahead.
Waffle for $10.
Well, hey there, mate.
Defend Andrew. Increase in subs. Looks like you're on the payroll of the Moose.
Wow. Unbelievable. We have so many clips now. Oh, here we go.
Oh, you're on the payroll of the Jews.
It feels good, you know?
Thank you very much, Waffle.
Thank you.
What else have we got? Oh my God, Waffle gifted 20 memberships.
Guess who's back? Back again, you know? He's very sneaky. Right? He'll like go away and come back because he's a real G. And you know what real G's do?
Bitch, real G's move in silence like lasagna.
He moves in silence. And then he just emerges from the ether like that. And fellas, just like that, we have our first Chad of the Chad.
Now the Chad does what the Chad wants. And no one is stopping him because Chad does what Chad wants.
Also, one more thing. Fellas, it finally happened. Okay? I did a stream, my humiliation stream, on me.
Oh yeah, how did that go?
It went really well. Okay, it was bringing up a lot of feelings from the fellas of like, you know, I want to make fun of Ardy, but also I remember when I didn't know what I knew now. And as always, the fellas are very wholesome. So people who just joined, you'll want to check that out. Where even the black fella hops on as well. So good, a good
Nice.
mix there. Not a miscegenation, but a mix. Okay.
Okay.
Coffee
Cat for $5. Thank you, Coffee Cat. So Boston Basketball Americans is actually soul murder. Well, yes. Literally expecting them to fit into white society in any way, shape, or form. and not be inveterate ninjas is soul murder. I'll look. Check out Clan-Based Lifeforms on Thursday. I'll be digging into the academic papers that say this, and probably losing a few more brain cells. You know how it is.
Well, actually, I think that's our strategy. Ignorance is bliss, but I can't be ignorant, so I need to just blow out my brain cells.
Misa Khan sent me another thing on black holes.
Oh
no!
no!
It's like a gay, queer, black. You know those weird things where like they're gay and they make like butt stuff like a whole academic subject. Oh my god!
Yep. Oh my! Wow! That is really useless information for you to learn.
It is very funny and also disgusting though. So
yeah.
All right.
Corporophilia, yep.
Arcturus, member for 1 month, thank you. Your recent collabs with Remnant and Basic Logic were so cute, Pepe.
Yes.
Thank you, mate.
Yes, I am very, very cute. Just so you guys know, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Halus for $5. Fist, can you read this sentence? Nosferatu, the nose gnome of wait, I can get this. Nosferatu, the nose gnome of Notre Dame, knows no one who knows the gross pose.
Wow. Look at that, spitting off the dome right there.
You
have to have some recorded raps of yourself somewhere, Fist. Somewhere you have to have those. I know you do.
I do tongue twisters to warm up actually before the show.
I've heard it.
Andrew Corrigan for $20.
Hello there.
Thank you very much. Did this super chat come out of the Ingsoc retirement fund? Been late to 5 streams. I can feel the melanin rising within me. Oh, miscegenator, grant me absolution so my skin can return to its milky glow. And your words of darkness shall flee or bend over. Case depending. From the Ardy Bible. Yes.
He's been reading me. See, yeah. I'm like Socrates, and I have a Plato, right? I don't write anything down because I can't write or read. So other people do it for me.
Book of Ninjas, verse 5. Chapter 10. Agile Walrus. Hey Walrus, how you doing? Member for 9 months. The Turbo Encabulator is the pinnacle of dry white humor. Thank you for that nostalgia. God bless, fellas. Thank you, mate.
Indeed.
Agile Walrus again for 5 Canadian loonies. Owen Benjamin said on Sam Tripoli's podcast that he believes they ate Charlie Kirk. Not surprised at what that yokel says anymore. Huh.
Well, see, he's a comedian, allegedly. That's the biggest conspiracy of all. Fellas, if you would like to see me unravel the conspiracy of Owen Benjamin being a comedian, you're going to want to check out the playlist on Candace Owens and her not lackeys, lemmings playlist that I have. And Owen Benjamin is not very funny as we watch some of his stand-up comedy, and it is very tough to get through.
I would have thought they would have taken bits of him away to serve at Blackerfelch, when the elites get together,
See, that's why I like how Fist's brain works. When someone comes up with something ridiculous, he goes, hold on, let me make it plausible. Okay.
The Komache Man for €5. Thank you, mate. Don't worry, Fist. Your cat was marking his territory. Also, I could see the Soylent Green theory because of the globalists, but that's also a Wakandan meal.
This is true.
And Kill All Bunnies for $5. Thank you very much. I wouldn't say Socrates, but definitely Diogenes. Yeah. Or you don't know about Diogenes, do you?
Nope.
Diogenes.
I'm a simple man.
Diogenes was great, right? So in the middle of Athens, when Plato and Socrates, right, Plato in particular, he loved to prance around and be like, "Oh, I'm Plato." So Diogenes was basically like a homeless itinerant, and is sort of regarded by some as the greatest Greek philosopher. Unfortunately, a lot of his work was lost, but the most famous, he's known for some, but one of the most famous is when Plato was basically trying to define what a man was, because that's the kind of tard that Plato was.
Classic.
He said, Plato was like, man is a featherless biped. So Diogenes walked into the school with a plucked chicken and was like, behold, a man.
That's some old school trolling right there.
Yeah, he lived in a barrel in the street. he was just it was like
that really is more my style. I really am a homeless man with a roof.
Yeah, exactly. A homeless tard. Okay, so right, super chat's achieved.
You're up.
Shall we? Right, okay, let's get on.
What do you
There
got? So
has
now
been-
it looks like the moos have to rest, right? In case, so this is going to play in perfectly how people are like, oh, see, they're not covering the moos anymore, right? For the past like few streams, we haven't been covering the moos because we're afraid of the moos, right?
Well, yes. Well, we were offered extra money. Obviously, so weirdly enough, it appears that the kosher centrists were sort of correct. It does seem like there is a conference season. It's just that it ran very long this year.
It's
like
11 months.
Yeah, up until July, which makes me wonder when the next conference season is going to start. They're probably going to like take like a 1 month's break so they can all go back to their like islands and, you know, sort out their like holiday homes, and then they'll be back. They'll be back. So yes,
work.
there's no conferences on at the moment, so we can't really cover that. But we can cover
the ultimate Gentile,
the hand Lindsay's tail.
Oh my God, what is going on here?
So Lindsay's very, very worried. He's talking about when the Roke right take over. I also get promises of death when they take over, sometimes in surprising specificity. Here's an example I've got in some variation several times. JD Vance will become president to start the takeover. JD will crack down very hard on some unpopular leftist thing, but in a way outside the strict boundaries of the law, but just barely. This will be popular. The courts will block him, who will do it anyway, which will be also pretty popular. In response, the left will do what it does and go berserk. JD will then crack down on them with the military, which will still be pretty popular. The escalation will force a declaration of emergency powers. JD's mate. He's a mustache man in the waiting, is JD, which JD will assume these will be used to crush his opposition. It will not be popular, but no one will be able to do anything about it. I mean, will it not be popular? I mean,
he's never been wrong. You know who you're talking to right now?
Right. I mean, oh my God, all the commies like fucking stuff up. Got what's coming to him. Oh no.
You're talking about a guy who has random anons, okay, saying that he's right all the time.
No, we're not doing that. You're getting called a slur.
Fucking nerd. Fucking nerd.
At this point, apparently, me and all of my family will be rounded up and unalived, and people will celebrate another major traitor's death, perhaps in really nasty ways. If not JD, someone else eventually. I don't believe this strange fantasy, but it has been related to me several times as a warning to shut up while I can. Although sometimes it's all listen, James. If you're listening, I know it's not listening. He wouldn't lower himself to listen to filth like this. Don't change, okay? Don't stop talking. Don't shut up. You are doing a masterful job of destroying the kosher centrists. Okay, I wouldn't want you to stop for even one day, man. Right? Just keep pretending that everything is fine as everything gets worse and worse. And look, that's absolutely going to endear you to everyone, right? Never change. Well, obviously, slowly get more psychotic, which you do seem to be like doing.
It's been over a year now. Okay, there's no human body can handle the level of goy that James Lindsay is filled with right now. He has to break at some point.
It's I like, you know, I have a feeling he's gonna crash out as the election happens. But look, I don't know, right? I don't want to wish ill upon people, even people such as Lindsay.
I'll do that. Let the godless atheist do that.
But he is, it seems, becoming more and more unhinged. So this was his amazing take. I'm not going to read the whole thing because who has the time, quite frankly. So his explanation for why more people are gravitating towards Catholicism and Orthodoxy obviously can't be anything to do with the church itself or connection with God, God, okay? Because obviously, from the point of Lindsay, God doesn't exist. You know, the church is like, So what he's basically saying is that the primary reason this is happening is that the last 10 years of woke completely destabilized everything, and now people need a sort of solid foundation. I mean, fair enough. Okay, it's not too unreasonable.
Truth married to a lie. There's the truth.
Yep. This structural solidity is incredibly appealing to people who don't feel like they have any and can't find it anywhere, including in secular institutions, their own deracinated traditions, or Protestant churches. Deracinated traditions. Goodness me, James. Oh, he's drifting towards the woke right, even as we speak. My God. Add to this fact that everything woke is tinged with feminism. Well, yes. It's a desire to return to the old. However, it's rebellion as well, right? People are coming to God because, their parents don't want them to, right? People want the high church because it has like hierarchy. But people are, I don't know, I've seen people like going to Lutheranism, which is sort of low church. However, this...
I know, but it's so wholesome. Instead of a parent kicking their kids out because they're gay, kicking them out, go to that church you like so much. I don't need you, Dad. I'm going to go to church with my new friends. It's very rebellious, right?
Understand me there, Dad. You've never even been to liturgy. Listen, I don't need to go to liturgy. You know, it's a bunch of nonsense. But you've never even been, Dad. Oh, I'm sure that is actually taking place, right? You get
takes off his leather jacket, puts on a collared shirt, and leaves. That will be a great AI short.
Listen, sweetie, don't listen to your father. He's just had a hard day at work. Now, wouldn't you rather cut your penis off and go back to that silly church? Here, put on your frilly dress, right? And we'll put you back on Tinder. Maybe you can meet a nice black man. Isn't that better than going to silly liturgy?
Oh, look, there's a new TikTok on. You like TikTok, don't you?
Let's watch it together. So this was the bit that pissed off the actual Christians. As you may be aware, if you have followed Lindsay's over, he is very, very taken with Robert J. Lifton's admirable work, Thought Reform and the Psychology of Totalism, a study in brainwashing in China.
Everything he says is the most recent book he read. I've covered this many times. Everything he talks about.
Yeah, he doesn't. I mean, look, right, to be fair, I haven't done a lot of reading recently either, but I'm fucking streaming like 4 or 5 times a week now. So, I don't know what Lindsay's excuse is. I guess he spends his entire time on Twitter pushing back the tide of the woke right.
No, every single thing he does, there's no production value. He literally just records on his phone, doesn't edit any of it, and releases it. That's all he does.
Yeah. So basically he is saying that under Maoism there was a thing called the cult of confession, okay, which is true. This was part of what was known as self-criticism, which was a brainwashing thing. Now, this, of course, is incredibly different to confession in the Christian context, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you've ever been to confession, it's very, very short, right? You just say like, no, I did this and that. The church, the priest says, blah, 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 blah. Solve your sin. Maybe you have like a little chat with the priest and ask him for some advice, and you go, right? Under Maoist China, these self-criticism sessions were incredibly long and detailed. They were not, they were forced, right? They weren't voluntary. Okay. Like you could be like beaten if you didn't go to them. So he's like, there is the demand that one confess to crimes one has not committed, to sinfulness that is artificially induced in the name of a cure that is arbitrarily imposed. Well, yes, because this is under Maoism, right? Where like everyone is caught in like a purity spiral at the end of a truncheon. This demand creates an incredible psychological pressure that needs release, what he calls a purging milieu. Confession is expected to be done publicly and to induce struggle and transformation. In the church, confessions are not done publicly. Quite the opposite.
Right.
You're not supposed to talk about it. Okay, right? Like it's between you and the priest. Because if confessions were done publicly, it would be a completely different like dynamic. Here is what I am not saying. I am not saying Catholicism is a cult of confession environment. He then
I'm just putting them next to each other.
He then goes on to basically say that it is, right? Here's what I am saying. Young people under the yoke of woke have grown up in this psychological pressure cooker and have similar need of release and relief. Ah, yes. Because there was no need for the church before the invention of woke, right? Amazing. Like, woke happens, and then this thing called the church that's just completely new, never been around before, just like springs up. You know, it's not that people...
There's certain circumstances where no one needs the church, right? The church understands that, right? The church only fits in very specific moments in history, right?
It would be much more accurate to say that, I mean, not just under woke, but during the sort of like liberal period, like the Gen X period that started in the 80s and the 90s, that the prevailing wisdom was that you should give release to all of your passions, and that doing this was great, right? Like this is how you get to happiness, is by expressing all of your passions, no matter how weird or depraved they are. And this has had bad results. And these kids can see it's had bad results because the parents that they have, and, you know, if they, you know, and the people of that age group are clearly fucked up, right? Interestingly, the method by which young people actually confess in the woke Maoist sense is by open and willful rejection of woke policies, being based. I would wager this increases their sense of need to do a Catholic-style confession. For what? Even if they don't see their transgressive baseness as morally sinful. Transgression itself creates this urge, and normal confession would assuage this psychology. So what James is basically saying is that all of the based kids, right, they know it's wrong. They know it's wrong to be based. Deep down, right, there's a classical liberal implanted inside each of them, right? A little crystal fragment of the Goy beam just waiting to fly. They know it's wrong. To reject the Goy beam is wrong, and they cannot deal with the horror of this. So instead, what they do is they go to sort of like reflexive ways of like assuaging this in their psychology. What's it? Displacement, right? They are displacing their psychological urge to be a classical liberal.
And when I think of a leading voice on emotional regulation of other people, I think James Lindsay. I'm like, I want to know what his perspective is on people being emotionally healthy. As we're going to see how he responds to someone who disagrees with him even a little bit.
I make sure to make no decision at all that involves Christianity without consulting James Lindsay first.
Oh,
right?
easily.
Because when it comes to Christianity, Judeo-Christianity, obviously, he is the expert. Well,
you know what James Lindsay's religion is, right?
Decided nobody needs to know what my religion is any longer, and I'll never tell anybody again.
Don't forget, he's hiding his religion, which is the mooiest way to ever have a religion I've heard in my entire life. I don't know who does that.
This nefarious campaign is a resurgence of traditionalism with a capital T, which poses as traditional without having a tradition. This is also connected to specific evil political movements, most notably that of Alexander Dugin.
Ooh, Doogie Crisp.
Dugin is the new Rasputin.
Woo!
He is inside Putin's brain. You know, it's kind of weird that he keeps like mentioning fucking Dugin, because Dugin's an old believer. And someone was telling me about the old believers, right? They were basically persecuted under the Tsar. There's like a whole like weird ass story associated with it, right? So anyway, okay. So yes, it goes on. It goes on. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, more words means more smart. Don't forget that.
I'm not reading all of that. You know, I'm happy for you, or like
wow,
whatever. Right now, Steve Coughlin, right, who is one of Lindsay's sort of original, well, not exactly disciples, right? Lindsay stole a bunch of Steve's work on political warfare. I was actually quite into Steve Coughlin for a bit. His basic ideas sort of came off Vogelin. Everything is Gnosticism, essentially, right? Socialism is Gnosticism, communism is Gnosticism, It's not really, but you know, it was an interesting theory at the time until I discovered that it was basically Kabbalah and various strains of Moodyism. So Steve, who is a Catholic, took this rather badly. Here's not what I am saying, and yet you plainly did. Did Mao adopt his confessional cult movement by copying ancient church insurgency tactics from Sun Tzu? There are a lot of dead Chinese priests who beg to differ with you on that. The condescension is risible.
Ooh.
The Catholic Church doesn't claim to take itself back to Peter as if that claim is something wished into being. The entire historical record affirms with primary sourcing the historicity of that claim, and this remains true even after going through Protestant ankle biting on the issue and the effort of lodge people to erase it, providing absurd parallel fake histories as a replacement. And what is his reward for being a faithful Lindsayite for all of these years? Shut the fuck up, Steve. You're the one falling for the dialectical stuff now because it's hitting you in your soft spot.
Dude,
I presume.
I love shut the fuck up, Steve. Like, he's typing how he speaks and thinks. There was no moment of like thinking that, then going, well, no, I'm going to respond this way. Purely driven by emotion.
Now, presumably the soft spot that Lindsay is talking about is Steve's Catholicism, like his deeply...
What else would it be?
His religious faith. Now, look, Steve, if you're watching, right, what you need to do is you need to be more like Lindsay, okay? And have no real faith, except for like faith in, you know, the sanctity of Israel, obviously. Okay, right?
Very nice.
Cannot be countersignaled, right? You need to have a sort of a faith that is an identity without an essence that can move, right? Like at any time, depending on the political whims.
Almost like a Candace Owens investigation. Keep going.
If you don't, if you cannot adjust, you're frankly, right? I mean, imagine having faith in the Catholic Church in 2026. Oh,
it's just, he really is like an emotionally dysregulated fucking teenager. Shut the fuck up, Steve.
Oh my God.
Intellectual. Right. That's a public intellectual, according to some people.
And of course, like, you know, all the Lindsay'ites are like in here. Wait, does James respond?
Does he? You know he wanted to. You know he did it in record time.
I think it's egregious that you compare the sacrament of confession to Mao. It is egregious. It is.
No, but he said he didn't do it, Fist. He said he didn't do it. So are you really being fair?
It is fucking blasphemous, is what it is, right? It's like saying like, oh yeah, right, you know, like the Bolsheviks, yeah, they killed all those like millions of Christians, but did you know like this practice of Christianity is basically Bolshevism?
How did you miss the text in all caps that explicitly said he wasn't doing that as he was doing it?
Oh, I know. It's certainly not possible for someone to say that they're not doing something and then literally do it. That's fortunately, you know. And so, right, yeah, so James continues. There's another element too, which is particularly prevalent with the Deus Vult people. The Deus Vult people.
Those people.
It gives them something to do that's tied to the appearance of workable solutions within a system and structure that already exist and lets them cosplay being badasses.
Wait a minute. What the fuck are James Lindsay's solutions, dude, aside from sitting there and waiting for the government to do something?
He doesn't have any as far as, like, people have pressed him many
I've chronicled this.
times, right? And all his solution is basically the same, right? Like if they...
Do you want to know what his solution is? I can tell you what his solution is because he explicitly said it to Julie, whatever her name is. She did Beneath Sheep's Clothing, which is a documentary on the commies, no moves,
I remember.
commies. Yeah. So she's talking to him. I could find this video somewhere. And she's trying to like get a solution out of him. So she's like, what do you think we can do in the next 4 years? Like for a solution. And James goes, well, if you think we can do something in the next 4 years, you're just a fat bitch, or whatever he said. Whatever dismissive, nice thing he said. If you think we can do it in 4 years, hopefully we can do this in 20 years, is what he said. No, there's nothing we can do in 4 years. Hopefully we can get some sort of shred of legal precedent set in 20 years. Hopefully. That's James Lindsay's prescription, the solution.
Right.
We can really afford another generation, right?
Definitely have 20 years to like keep chewing over this. Absolutely, right? No rush. So Steve replies, the Deus Vult people That's Latin for God wills it and dates back to the 1090s.
Oh no.
Stop being a Catholic. My goodness, right? Having religion in the sense of tradition. Don't you know it's 2026? Are you referring to all faithful Christians, which actually means all Christians? Because notwithstanding how any number of Christians might understand that term, they certainly recognize the truth behind the claim. And that remains true regardless of any number of zealots who bend such terms. Based. Look, looks like you're woke right now, Steve. Welcome aboard. I'll add you to the list. We do Taco Tuesdays. It's quite the event.
Fist is in there trying to stir some shit up. I love it. Oh, I love it. I don't see it nearly as much as I want to.
And then Steve is like, woke right is a manufactured meme. And then Intoprian fucking blocked me. I presume.
Perfect.
Because of this, right? How dare I insert myself into a conversation, right? Being all woke right. And then this motherfucker,
generic Lindsayite,
just talks down to him like, your knowledge of things happening is very clearly deficient as demonstrated above. So you may want to avoid broad descriptions like this.
I want to call this the fallacy of interchangeability. And I've called this out in videos where it is something that is so vague and nebulous that it could just be said right back to him. And nothing would really change in the conversation. I mean, there's nothing descriptive there.
This is pathetic. You should feel no pride whatsoever having written and not deleted this.
See,
Please
there it
note
is.
that your knowledge being deficient is the charitable explanation and is actually more generous than what you wrote merit. See, Entropian.
He feels smart.
Steve might secretly be part of the woke right op. Oh my God. Right?
But do you see how like schoolyard tactic this is? Ha! You don't know what you're talking about, and even the mere fact that I'm listening to you should show how reasonable I am in the face of something that's so outrageously. Are we all bored listening to me say that, dude? They eat that shit up and they feel smart.
Steve's like, so now I'm a liar. And
Nice.
I'm just like, Steve, the offer is open. There are many fine scholars and thinkers on the so-called woke right who will not subject you to endless purity testing.
See,
come on over, Steve. Right? Like,
But look at so I'm a liar. Got it. Yes. Just a series of baseless accusations that they can't substantiate over and over again into infinity.
Oh, I've been blocked. Oh, I've been blocked. Oh,
Beautiful.
Oh,
That's all it took, and now it's immortalized.
How will I listen to his shitty AI generated industrial music now?
Oh no!
What
That's
a shame.
your favorite.
It is my favorite, actually. I actually do quite like his music. Well, I mean,
can I show you a very quick clip of James Lindsay, proof that he doesn't do any work and he doesn't have any team at all whatsoever?
Please.
With constitutions. It was on March 26th, March 15th. Sorry. It was on 26 March 1550.
There's just no editing. Constantly. You couldn't cut that out. Nobody put a second pair of eyes on that for his entire team, dude. It's over and over again. So yeah, when you release something that's like 4 hours, it easily could have been an hour and a half. I love it.
Wait,
he doesn't have
4 hours?
No, if he does release something that's 4 hours, right?
Yeah, right.
Remember his Mustache Man symposium, fucking collection of works, whatever it was.
I learned so much, actually,
about Oren McIntyre from that.
I'm not sure. Like he was, actually wanting to teach people that. I'm like, oh, so they had a system where you had different levels of citizenship for different groups of people, and only certain people could like vote or hold political office. Oh, that's fun. What an interesting idea.
Yeah. He never. It's very much like the left, where they're like, okay, we're going to give you this information, but just don't think of it as anti-white. And it's like, well, it seems very anti-white. He gives you all this information. He goes, now don't be anti-Mooish with it. And it's like, well, this is it's very easy to connect this.
We also have news from Data Moo Publican.
Ah, yes.
Right. Okay, so in case you guys don't know, this is my end of the internet spurg kind of like thing. Okay, Data Republican was she sort of became like quite well known on Twitter, I guess, like probably about a year ago. doing research into the Soros NGO networks. Now, recently, she was given a bunch of documents by the government, by the US government, and said, can you leak these? And she then basically sort of like spurged out and thought that it was a trap. It was a trap. Oh my God, right? Apparently these documents still had like seals on them, and she was like, oh my God, like blah, 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 blah. I was handed a bunch of documents marked sensitive. I had a responsibility to handle them correctly and no institutional cover while I did it. I consulted with others. Anyway, she like spurged out and said that it was a trap, that the government was trying to like set her up. And then everyone else was like, wait, like what the fuck's going on? Like they're just trying to, you know, like leak this like stuff.
Yep.
But don't worry, bros. She had the best person to help her with her trying time. James Lindsay.
Oh my God.
Yes. Yes.
Oh no.
She messaged him and he
in a time of need
through this trying period, presumably by telling her that it was like all an op and that that, you know, James and I had a rocky start online. Gradually over the period of over a year and slowly growing trust that we only wanted to fight communists. So we built up a friendship. So does that include Mooish communists that you want to fight or only non?
Hey, whoa. Don't differentiate them, okay? It's not all of them. It's just a large portion of them.
I'm just saying, right? We chatted all day yesterday. He offered me support. He warned me that there was a growing plot, that I was part of a Flynn network. Many others lent their support, but more than anyone, James acted like a friend, not a cheerleader. He was simply there. Now, so like fucking whatever, man, right?
Yeah.
Apparently this is the Flynn network. I believe like Lindsay was banging on about this with like the Angel Michael stuff originally.
Archangel Michael, classic.
Yeah, but if you start drawing connections to do with him, you're a crazy person. But if he draws weird connections between like Michael Flynn and the Lucis Trust and like the United Nations and the Theosophists,
yeah,
he is being extra totally heckin' smart.
He's doing his due diligence. Okay. Very valid research.
All I'm saying, right, is like just be consistent. Okay. So
barking up the wrong tree for that one.
So look, so basically, right, James told her that it was part of a woke right network. Okay, great.
And of course, she asked for evidence. Right.
Now, as a result of this, the actual documents that were being released got sort of like thrown by the wayside, and these documents were about the Global Engagement Center. Now, if you've never heard of these people, you are not the kind of autist that I can associate with, quite frankly. Global Engagement Center was one of a series of censorship NGOs that were spun up. Well, they were spun up, a lot of them underneath Obama, but they sort of flowered into relevance under the Biden administration and COVID. You may remember the Disinformation Governance Board that was headed by that horrible Yenta, Nina Yankovic. That was so bad that it was too much even for the Biden administration, right? It was meant to be basically sort of like a centralized censorship board, because that's what it means when they say disinformation. They mean like who we are going to like censor. Okay. The Global Engagement Center was made under Obama. It was originally meant to counter propaganda aimed at foreign audiences, but by 2020, it had abandoned that and in actual practice was aimed at silencing domestic opposition. Many cases of this, by the way, right? They spin up some kind of like thing. Oh, no. We're only going to aim this weapon at foreign populations. And a couple of years later, they're like, we really need to like stamp down on disinformation in the United States. Okay. They worked in conjunction with the Election Integrity Project, which was, I presume, censoring people talking about the dodgy shit going on in was it the 2020 election?
Yeah.
So my question, I guess, is this a case of different NGO networks fighting? Okay. Because Data Republican went very hard after Soros, the Open Society Foundation, and that group of NGOs, but does not seem terribly interested in going after Global Engagement Center and other sort of censorship-based NGOs.
There's always factional warfare that we have to be aware of.
Yes. Now, again, this is just my suspicion, right? I don't have evidence to back this up.
Yeah, you're fully confident in what you're saying you think is 100% correct. Yeah.
Right. But when you are trying to disentangle this kind of like stuff, it's all very much sort of suspicion, because it's quite frankly very, very hard to get sort of reliable evidence. So, right,
Yep.
I'm just going off hunch here, right? If I'm wrong, right. And then it turns out that Data Republican works for the Pentagon.
Ooh, interesting.
So that's great. Okay. You couldn't make it up, right?
Yeah.
Allegedly, I don't know. She's like, look, I was only like part of the press pool, but she has a Pentagon pass. She did not want to disclose this. I began working as a special governmental employee for the Department of War in July to serve the country in a more hands-on way. My press credentials at the Pentagon expired in June, and I did not seek a renewal. I am currently not a member of the Pentagon Press Corps and no longer attend briefings or events as a journalist. So is her working for the Department of War the same thing as being like a journalist? I don't know, right? It's all very, very murky, is all I'm saying. People often ask me why I still support James Lindsay, given everything that's happened. The answer is simple. Without James, there would be no Data Republican. I was hopelessly stuck in big tech, pseudo-meritocracy, atheism culture. Lindsay's intellectual lectures were exactly what was needed to pierce our agnostic and atheist fog. Several years ago, Lindsay gave me the intellectual foundation that changed everything I'd seen in the world since. James was the one who convinced me and my husband that there was something bigger out there. And ironically, that was what led us to believe in Christ. I'm not sure if that was the desired. I hope you are believing in the Judeo-Christian Christ and not, actual Christianity.
Yes. Fist,
right?
Inside of us, there are two wolves. One is Judeo and one is Christian. Okay. Which one wins? The one you feed. All right.
Just as I continue to stand by Donald Trump out of loyalty, I remain friends with James, even when we don't see eye to eye. He may or may not believe now, but he will be a mighty warrior for Christ one day. Yeah, I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true. So this is back in 2025, by the way. I should point out, right? This is not recent. And I mean, for someone who's been going around calling like a bunch of people like feds and this is an op.
Yep.
She sold $1,000 bottles of whiskey.
Oh, yeah. There's no laundering there, right?
I mean, dude, like distilled data,
ultra limited,
$1,000 a bottle. Okay,
what? That's normal.
Yeah, that's totally normal. That's totally normal, right? Completely normal. Okay, so that's the end of my thing.
Terrific,
right?
Let's continue.
Let's do some more super chats.
Oh, sure.
And wait. Hang on. Where are we up to?
Yeah, getting niggy with it.
James Lindsay's hands for $5. Hands
bro.
of heal in the chat, lads. I'm very against the friend-enemy distinction. The people I cast out are radical anti-friends.
Every time. Every single time. And wasn't Carl Schmitt warning of that, where like the follies that you will make if you don't believe in the friend-enemy distinction?
Yes. Schmitt basically said that one of the big problems with liberalism is that by trying to remove the friend-enemy distinction and replace everything with money and process, you wind up in a situation where you get the evolution of what is the ultimate friend-enemy distinction, which is the human versus anti-human, okay? So instead of having a situation where you're like, I don't know, we're Irish, they're Italian, we think they're stinky, they think we're stinky. Some of them are all right, okay, but I will always be Irish, you'll always be Italian, for example, okay? You wind up in a situation where you're like, we are the humans, right? The proper humans. Those people are the anti-humans. And this, in fact, enables conflict on a scale unimaginable while you had a healthy friend-enemy distinction. Lindsay, of course, loves to butcher this, but the basic idea is like, look, we're Republicans, you're Democrats, you're a bit stinky, we don't like you, right? But we're not going to like wipe you off the face of the earth. Or like, hey, Tone, I don't like the Irish very, very much, right? That's okay, boss. The Irish, they don't like us. But, they're all right sometimes. Just, serve up some more gabagool. And the idea of
it's very much like that.
Yeah, exactly, right? This is what you would call a healthy friend-enemy distinction. Or, or sort of like background levels of like racism, Hey, I'm not sure if I'd be like okay with like, my daughter marrying an Irish. They're a bit stinky, okay?
Yeah.
Liberalism, by flattening all of this into a sort of thing where everything is mediated by money or process, actually makes things 1,000 times worse, because people need to feel like some kind of a tribe fighting against something else. And once the human anti-human thing comes out, which you get a lot in communism, it enables like massacres and abuses that are unheard of, because you're not just like, hey, we don't like the Irish, they're a bit stinky. You're like, those people are literally inhuman. They are not even people. We need to wipe them all out. This is what Schmidt was fucking like talking about. Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. Dissident Knight for $5 Australian. Thank you, Dissident Knight.
Thank you, Rav.
Running a train on they soul should be the title for the next clown-based life form. Yeah, thank you very much. I might use that. Actually.
Have you told people what clown-based life forms are yet on the stream?
I
stream?
don't know. It's just,
I don't believe you have.
Right. Like, I don't know. It was just like a cool name we came up with for the.
No, hype the stream.
Hype the yes.
It's supposed to be a layup.
On Thursdays, you can listen to my delightful politics comedy stream. Honestly, most of the time we spend it like laughing at ninjas. To be frank, on Thursdays at usual time at 6 p.m. EST. What did we do last week? We've just been covering like a bunch of the wee wuzzery.
It's super ridiculous.
So
it's
much
rather critical of the blacks.
It is right, but it's just insane, right? Like they're literally like, we was Greeks, we was Egyptians, we was Hebrews. We invented the clock.
Fellas,
invented
they actually think they're people. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's insane. It's insane. Ardent Party has posted the link in the chat.
Yes, he has.
Check it out. Yeah, look, I think you guys all like. Look, it's funny. My co-host Aaron C is a good lad. And there's a lot of like AI slop, and it's just it's just fun to watch. Also, I was on Oren McIntyre on Monday. We're doing.
Is that his real name?
Yeah. His real name is in fact Oren McClussy. He doesn't like to
Huge.
We're talking about the similarities between government and organized crime. So check that out. All right. Arthur and Callie, 1,000 joules.
Thank you for the cake. That was nice of you to give us a trophy cake.
It's so weird. Appreciate that, Arthur. Torture White member for 8 months. We don't know Lindsay's faith, but we know. Yeah, see, precisely, right?
The mooiest way.
Darth Amalgamation member for 9 months. I think DR sold 1,000 bottles, not $1,000 a bottle.
That kind of makes sense.
Oh, is that true?
Kind of makes more sense. Limited release, 1,000 bottles, kind of makes more sense, right? Wouldn't put it past these people, though, right?
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
See, fact checked in real time. Thank you very much, Darth Amalgamation.
It changes nothing, but thank you.
I mean, they're only $120 a bottle.
There we go.
Okay, thank you. See,
Fair enough.
The fellas are always fact checking. I appreciate that. New GM for $10.
Well, hello there, mate.
A clone-based life form is when you successfully replace a brain with a nicely buttered kipper.
Yes, it's a transplant. It actually is what the Moos did to Black Americans is an act of eugenics. It's Marxist eugenics is what it is, I swear.
Jam for $10.
Hello there, mate.
Thank you for getting me those classified files on ninjas as racism's are fist. You're welcome. Now I need a trusted confidant to help me handle these sensitive folders. Oh, look, some hands that heal. Well, just be careful because the hands that heal are also the hands that hurt. You got to make sure that you're getting the right pair of hands.
He actually talked about that publicly after we streamed about it. Just so you guys know. Okay? We are a voice in his ear.
Surprised. I'm surprised that would be blocked, actually. J6 version 2.0 for $5. Thank you, mate. Anyone who says James Lindsay or any influencer has opened their eyes, I immediately doubt if they have ever cracked a book. Yeah, it's a bit like that.
They feel smart. That's the most important thing.
And Bon Nom, 750 joules. Thank you very much, mate.
Let them cook.
Oh, crap. I just...
Everyone must eat.
Everyone must eat.
I love that.
Right.
We're gonna have to put that on the soundboard, dude.
We really will. I'll dig it up. Okay.
Very nice.
Super chat's achieved. Time for your segment, I believe, Ardy.
Oh boy, what I really enjoy about this are the moderate Democrats, which don't exist. The moderate left, you know, they only want to cut off a little bit of a kid's dick, right? They're moderate. So
wait, so they just want to cut off the foreskin, is what you're saying?
Yeah, you know, they're moderate. They're always in between everything.
Right. Okay. It's good that we have arrived at an acceptable amount of genital mutilation, right? Like, you know, we need to make a compromise, really, if you think about it. That's how democracy works, bro.
And so, you know, like Destiny, for example, he's not a crazy communist or a socialist. He's like a regular moderate Democrat, okay? Now, if you guys think that there are regular moderate Democrats, please give me their name because I've been looking, I've been asking, haven't really found any. So Hutch over here is a Destiny orbiter, okay? He very much is even to the right of Destiny, many would say. And so, but he also calls himself a radical liberal. They're all very confused about trying to not be associated with commies, okay? Let me just set the tone with the cascading effect of Hasan Piker in the past couple months.
The far right in this country is pretty much a genuine far right. Yeah. Like, I mean, internationally speaking, yes. You know, you start to bump.
If he says that the far left in America is basically like a conservative in Europe, I'm going to end the stream.
But the far left in this country is not communist. The far left.
It's fucking Scandinavian social democrats.
It's the Democrats in 1930.
Yeah. Yep. There's no sane people on your side. You guys have the far left. You guys have extremists. You guys have radicals. Even our newtsies are fucking normal because all they want is safety. That's all they fucking want, dude. Safety and prosperity for their fucking people. There's no extreme people on the right. We are normal. No matter how far right you go, whatever that means, we are the normal ones, fellas. And now the left is stuck with their quote-unquote crazies. Where could this come from? All of a sudden, their extreme wing is starting to pop up. Now, I prefer a 2016 Trump calling Hasan Piker a communist. That's what I prefer. I'll take a 2026 Trump doing it, okay?
She gave him a lot of money, and he recently campaigned with a communist fanatic who says that America deserved 9/11. We deserved it, right? We deserved all that death.
Now, I'll take that. I'll take it where I can get it. Now, there's an update on Hasan Piker saying that America deserved 9/11. And live, recently, he said to the audience, America does not deserve 9/11. He's starting to clean his act up, fellas, okay? He's turned over a new leaf. And now he's saying that America does not deserve 9/11. And that is not going to play. And so we do a little bit of this. We go back here. Now it plays because, you know, I know how to work this.
America does not deserve 9/11. That's my new thing now. He's been rehabbing his image, which is why.
And the entire audience boos him. Hutch, that's who you're stuck with. That is who you're stuck with, buddy. Now we're going to mosey on over to Hasan Piker, who just can't die. He can say whatever he wants. Unlimited respawns for Hasan Piker. Abdul El Said has been making a lot of content with Hasan Piker. This is, this is something that he can survive as a politician and be associated with Hasan Piker. Meanwhile, the right can't be associated with any of their quote-unquote dissidents. Seems very asymmetrical.
What a day. What a productive day. Talked about Trump. Talked about Trump potentially dying.
Talked about Trump potentially dying.
Did a speech at the Palestine People's Conference. Now we're out here with Senate help.
Just hanging out. None of this stuff follows him. Maybe it does follow.
Question to you is
follow Abduli Man. So this is on Fox News, and let's see how he's going to start to handle.
Wait.
Yep.
Just who is Abdul Al Sayed exactly?
Michigan Democrat U.S. Senate candidate.
Can I just make an observation?
Oh,
here, Ardy?
please.
Don't let Muslims into your government.
Why?
Well, we have had less than stellar results doing that in the UK.
Yeah, but we have guns and free speech. It's different in the United States, okay? And they're better than the Moos because they don't hate Christ like how the Moos do, right?
Right. Isn't Michigan a very heavy gun control-y state? Isn't that where Chicago is, or
worse?
Iraq?
It's a breeding ground for Muslim fucking extremism, where they're literally buying up property in fucking Michigan and openly talking about, in Michigan and Texas, there's Muslims talking about it. They're going to name fucking street signs after a fucking war. What are their war heroes? Prophets? In
yeah, I mean also caliphs. I think they were going to name it after like Saladin or something, if I recall.
We've covered it on stream before.
Yeah. Abu Bakr, Allah, Homs Street.
That's
like,
Michigan.
Classic American names, right? I think that's very offensive. Quite frankly, that stream should be named Don Quavius Boulevard. Is the only correct.
Incredible.
To you is, when did we start bending to cancel culture? When did we start saying that cancel culture was okay? Because clearly on your show, you have a number of people who you don't agree with, including me. And I think it's important for all of us who want to win votes, who want to build America, to go and talk to anyone, anywhere.
And we only have limited time, so I don't want to cut you off. But I'm talking about someone standing with the #1 state sponsor of terror. I'm talking.
Now, in your country, Fist, they really do have, I talk about in the United States not working with the left at all. Do you have any option in the UK to not work with the left? Any option at all?
No, not really. They basically, I mean, this is the thing. Even the center-right are basically lefties because they believe in social constructivism. Okay, so just to go on a tiny tangent, I have come to the realization, chat, if you would, you might enjoy this. In my opinion, the fundamental difference between the left and the right is whether you believe in social constructivism, even the soft kind. Okay, all of the people in the UK on the center right believe that fundamentally you can take a 70 IQ stabnig from Somalia or whatever, and if you just give them enough education, enough coddling, right, enough little pamphlets about please don't grape and please don't molest the farm animals and please don't stab our kids, sooner or later they will be integrated into the great.
How do you not understand the return on spending $1 billion on one of them, and there's a 20% chance that their IQ goes up 1 point? How do you not understand how that's the investment that we're making, how it can pay off?
The thing is, okay, the way IQ tests work, you can take you can take the same test twice and get up to 5 points variance.
Variance, yep.
So okay, so anything under 5, 7, maybe 10 points just to be like sure could basically just be noise. So this idea, and I've seen people saying this, like, oh look, they went up like 1 IQ point. No, they fucking didn't. You can't. So this idea of social constructivism reaches really, really deep into the center right. It's why they like back stuff like big government. It's why they back like universal education, all of these like kinds of things, because they really believe that through social intervention, they can overcome biology. And if you come out and you just say, listen, these people cannot be improved, that's why Africa is the way it is, they're like, oh my God, you're so heartless. Well, listen, man, the truth is brutal. I don't know what to fucking tell you, right? Like the West has dumped, I think it's like approaching like $4 trillion.
It's got to be
into Africa. And all we have gotten is infinity Bomalians.
More Africans. All we've gotten is more Africans. We doubled their population from 600 million to 1.2 billion in a 30-year period.
Awesome. And what happened to the white population during that period? It exploded too, right?
Down, down, down.
Oh,
white team going down.
That's a real shame. It's a good thing there. No one would benefit from this or anything.
Fist, come on. Come on over here. Can I please watch my black right winger talk to my Democrat fucking Muslim? All right.
Of course. Sorry to interrupt.
About condemning the worst attack on America. And if you want to vote in a country where we consider this event brought us to our knees, I'm talking about speaking to moral clarity specifically about that.
Saying that we deserve 9/11, all the classic stuff Hasan has said. Potentially worse than what Nick Fuentes has said.
I'm happy to have you on to talk about the president of the United States any other time. But would you speak to what he said about,
I just think
excuse me,
it's important.
Will you speak to what he said about
about
9/11 and October the 7th?
Well, it's important to talk about context. Question.
It's about context. It's complicated.
It's actually really complicated. No, it fucking isn't at all.
See, there's always context with the enemy. Have you noticed that, Fist? The enemies always have this charitability given toward them.
Well, when it's anything to do with the right wing, they always take context into account, right? They're always very, very soft on it. They're like, well, listen, actually, I know you're my political opponent, but it's important to like look at the context. They do that, right?
Yeah, like they always identify that Nick Fuentes is just telling a joke, the context of it. Anyways, continuing on.
What about that? So the question, again, like Jesse, you have not asked me one time about the issues that people actually care about in Michigan. You don't.
So this is going to be, mark my words, the strategy of the left. Hey, you're bringing up all these quote unquote culture war issues. I would say BLM was a culture war issue, and it was corporately supported, colluding with the government as well.
Oh, turn it up. It's a bit low.
Absolutely.
Gas prices. You don't want to talk about groceries. You don't want to talk about healthcare. You don't want to talk about the stupid trade war that's about to spent the whole interview talking about that stuff. That's destroying. That is destroying our own military. You don't seem to want to talk about any of those things. You want to bring up all this culture war. That I'm not here to fight
talk anything that you want to talk about, fellas. Because the culture, they want GDP number go up. Anything you want to talk about culturally will be considered a culture war issue. He's just trying to get healthcare for who?
Listen,
for birthright citizens.
Okay, look. It's not important to talk about who cut the penises off who, right? And who ruined the lives of who, right? We all know this is
COVID all over again.
Right? This is culture war stuff, right? We've moved on. I mean, it's still happening, right? But we've moved on from caring about kids having their lives, just white kids, obviously, right? If this was happening to Muslim kids, then I presume they'd be all up in arms about it. But you gotta understand, they're just white kids, bro. Ugh.
Daughters, right? I think that. Look, daughters, right? I think that. Look, I played sports my whole life. Sports were an important part of my life. I'm grateful for the opportunity to play sports. And at the end of the day, the decision of who gets to play what sports ought to be decided by the people who govern sports. I'm running for U.S. Senate. Jesse, it's insane. I'm out here trying to take on like the healthcare.
Imagine if he asked him to disavow PDF files. He goes, listen, I'm not answering these complicated questions. It's
look,
kind of
that's a culture war issue, Ardy.
Yeah.
Right? We've moved past that. Okay,
It's just a
The
litmus
Epstein
test, is all it
files-
is.
The Epstein files are long and gone. I don't want to hear about it. Right? They had the trials, didn't they? Right? Like, didn't all those people get like arrested? And oh no, wait, no, they didn't. Like, and I don't want to hear about COVID. Right? All the people behind that, they had the trials, they got arrested. Oh wait, no, they didn't.
Well, here's what you have to understand, okay? They want us just to put it all behind us, you know? The people that always bring up slavery and redlining want us to put the last 6 years behind us, okay?
That's right. That's right. Listen, this is all ancient history. We need to focus on the important things like slavery and the holly. Okay?
crisis in big pharma, and you're asking me about who gets to play what sports. It's
I
silly.
don't know.
People can't
It's
take
kind
you
of a
seriously.
big thing if you've been following the news recently, Abdul. Let me ask
It's
you
kind
about
of well known. That's kind of how they lost the last election as well, right? With Trump.
I love
his
how
campaign.
his name is Abdul,
Yeah.
right? In the UK, that's actually like a sort of a slur, right?
Yeah, it's fucking Abdul.
Yeah. You just like goddamn Abdul. Yeah.
Yeah. There's Abos and Abduls. Oh, this is great. I love this comment so much. Imagine if the roles were reversed. Imagine if Nick Fuentes said this. About the moose.
Can you zoom that in? I just need to take in.
Yeah.
I mean, American Jews who support Israel suggesting they are putting themselves in danger.
Oh, you skipped past it.
People don't with Israel any longer, and if Jews in America keep putting this idea out there that they are singularly invested in Israel, eventually someone's going to come around and take action, not against the state of Israel, mind you, but against American Jews.
If you're a moo and you think this, someone's going to come after you for being a moo. I wish I could do that. He's invincible.
Yeah.
He's never had a bad day in his life. There's nothing that can be done.
Listen,
Isn't that incredible?
Ardy, I need you to go back to like the first second of this video. Okay. And I need you to zoom that out. Zoom that in. Democracy 26. Are you ready to
Fox
do
News.
a democracy? Fuck. Just the way like we're all gonna do a democracy. Yay!
That's our right wing, which is pretty right wing across the entire West. Fortunately.
Okay, right. Sorry, I'm done. That was
Not a
just, like,
problem.
horrible.
I enjoy doing a temperature check. So I like to check in on Asmongold, right? That is the...
This is you dancing
Can we
on the
agree
grid.
that he's like the normie dissident at this point? He has a large reach. He tends to fall on a very understandable side to a lot of these issues. When I see him in passing, you know, sure, he's gross, okay? But he's more popular than Hasan Piker. You know that, right?
Yeah. Look, Asmongold is the everyday chud
holding down the
right?
fort.
He's the chud's man, chud.
Yes,
and I mean, you know, I quite like it. I don't watch his stuff because I don't have time. But the stuff
Really,
that I see,
this isn't up
pretty
your
good.
alley, really. Okay, let's tune into his coverage.
Democratic mayors. It's like, what the f are you talking about, dude? We're f***ing talking about social.
Now, this is from probably 2019, I would say maybe 2018, where Hasan Piker says that he wants to end the life of Charlie Kirk back then, okay? Very easy to survive when you're on the left.
medicine, and you f***ing turn around and you f***ing ask a question about murderous cities and their Democratic mayors. I will I want to f***ing kill him, dude. I want to kill
In a video game. This is back when he was friends with Destiny. He's talking to Destiny, and even Destiny is like, no. Even Destiny's blushing at this point.
It's strange how he can just
And he'll
fed
say,
poke
"Oh, well,
to
Hasan's
his
not joking."
heart's
Yes, I
content.
Oh, and show terrorist propaganda.
Yeah,
They actually had to change the rules on Twitch because of that.
Didn't he also raise money for Hezbollah?
Yeah.
As well?
So, but that's why I like watching the quote unquote moderate left like Destiny, who like can get away with some stuff, right? But he can't get away what the communists can get away with. And every time he's like, "What the fuck?" It's like, how does it feel, Destiny? Yeah, look what he's getting away with. That's how we feel about you all the time. But he can get away with more because the further left you are, the more you can get away with.
I want to f***ing kill him, dude. I want to kill
In a video. And of course, Abdul El-Sayed can easily just still associate with Hasan Piker and never back down. Never has to disavow. It's incredible.
Well, he's actually crazy. Like, what a fucking idiot. Really, like, it's just so embarrassing. And he has Destiny. Whoa. Destiny had the shock collar back then, not Hasan.
I meant it's just not in a video game setting. I want to.
And all they have to do is say in a video game, and nothing gets clipped, doesn't end up on the news or anything like that. And even if it does, you have politicians going, "Oh, not so." Hey, whatever happened to freedom of speech? That's what they're saying. Hey, I thought this was America. Thought we had freedom of speech here. Right back to putting your morals back onto you. And now let us continue through his controversy about what he said about the moose and how they're going to be hunted and deserve it. I mean, that's essentially the sentiment of what he said.
Or something like that, like a Dutch name. Yeah, what the fuck does this even mean? So it's confusing me now. Anyway, following statement after Twitch streamer Hasan Piker said that American Jews who support Israel are inviting violence. In his stream, Piker directly discussed and targeted Michigan State Senator Jeremy Moss. Is Jeremy Moss a Jew?
Just do you see the instinct? Do you see the instinct? What? How does that go? Like after a while, you won't have to search or something like that.
Yeah. Once you obtain the ancient powers, you won't even have to like search it up. You'll just.
Do you know how important? Do you know how important that is that he's doing that?
Yeah.
To look that up. That is extremely important with an audience that size.
I mean, they've been trying to like scrub stuff from Wikipedia, right? But it just with AI, it doesn't really work because there's always traces in other organizations, right? Like, you know, all the important ones, they've like, you know, spoken at some dinner or they've written some article for like the Moorish Chronicle or, you know, whatever. Like because up until the sort of recent thing, they were so proud of it, right? They were just going around like swinging their cocks being like, yeah, I'm Moorish. It's fucking I bet you wish you were. And now they're like, oh, maybe that wasn't such a wise move, you know?
I just remembered in my last edited video, I replaced the word moo with capitalist. I'm like, the World Capitalist Congress, and I named something else, and then I went, and Chabad Lubavitch, and I just gave the actual, like, mooish name. All of these capitalists, the small cabal of capitalist organizations that all collude and get together.
Yep, terrible.
But very, very important for Asmongold to do that. And normalization is what we're going for because we are the normal ones, okay?
You're daydreaming about being me, as if keep dreaming, pal. Wait, is this okay? Well, wait a second. So let me read her statement, and then I'm going to look at what he said about it. Hasan Piker calls for violence against American Jews. Well, that's not true. He doesn't just call for violence against American Jews. He calls for violence against a lot of other groups of people too.
I love the coverage, dude. I love the coverage.
But it's just that American Jews are one of the many, right? It's like saying that, you know, Walmart is selling, Windex. Okay, yeah, they are, but they also sell potato chips, televisions, candy bars, and underwear.
The only thing that's missing is he calls him a terrorist instead of a commie, but everything else is perfect.
So it's like, really, you can't say Walmart is like a potato chip store, right? I mean, it's a variety store, really. Violence against all non-terrorists, and even some of the terrorists too. But it depends on the right version of it. Full stop. What is this here? Directly naming Michigan elected official and future congressional colleague. Directly naming somebody, and he's the one that's saying that other people are trying to get him killed. Isn't that interesting? Jeremy Moss is unacceptable. Full stop. Piker is a hack who thrives on hate, shock, and awe because he lacks substance. It's dangerous for everyone. We should all be calling out this disgusting rhetoric so it loses his grip on our politics once and for all. It has no place in.
Who wins between the Moos and the Muslim commies, though? Who wins that? That's the real war, isn't it?
Well,
that's the Zios against the Bolsheviks, right?
That's a complicated question that a lot of people have tried to answer. There's from the Orthodox Moorish perspective, there is a lot less distance between Islam and Judaism than between Christianity and Judaism. And a lot of this has to do with the Noahide laws. So the Noahide laws are the 7 laws that all sort of Gentiles, all non-Moos are supposed to follow. And the second one, I think, is about idolatry. Now, because under Islam you're not allowed to depict people, and you're absolutely not supposed to depict the Prophet Muhammad. Technically, from an Orthodox Moorish perspective, Islam is much more kosher than Christianity. So some people have theorized that the idea is to use Muslim populations to displace Christianity and then, I don't know, clean it up afterwards. It's very, very murky.
Well, I don't think it's that murky. The Moos need Islam in the West so the Moos can go, look, we're also fighting for the West. They need conflict, that obviously antithetical conflict, so then we don't start looking at the Moos. That's why they always allow in commies and Muslims.
That's definitely a possibility. It should also not be discounted of the idea of just conflict for its own sake. Like this is one of the things I've noticed that whites in particular are very, very bad at understanding. Yeah. That some people just generate conflict for conflict, okay? Because it allows when there's like a situation of conflict, everybody's eyes are turned elsewhere. It generates like all kinds of business related to conflict. There are people who just want conflict for its own sake, but because
we often just call them crazy without further analysis on the whole.
Yeah, but that's not really true, right? To say someone's crazy just implies they don't know what they're doing. But you could quite easily just generate conflict. The intelligence agencies do it all the fucking time. Like, if they want to destabilize like a country for some fucking reason. So
intelligence agencies, communists and Moos have a long history of doing it.
Well, exactly. I mean, from the communist perspective, of course, what they want is the destabilization of the current order so that the new order can be born. Because, I mean, Gramsci talks about this, the idea that hegemony, the middle class, whatever, stabilizes a society. So you undermine it, you start a shitload of conflict, and then it becomes much easier to turn everything over in the revolution.
Yeah, it works like a charm every time, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Thanos has coherent ideology. He's still the villain in Marvel, right? So anyway, it wasn't just her. It was Hasan's, best friend here, Abdul El Said. So this is the guy that Hasan was answering questions at his press rally and everything and all this stuff. This is the guy that is now denouncing Hasan. Now he's making negative statements about him. So Thanos made more sense. It does. DSA was Democrats. Democrats that have been intimidated for their beliefs in the past. My commitment to Jewish safety is the same as my commitment to the safety of my own daughters. Anti-Semitism is a scourge, and we need to address it in all its forms. I stand against any rhetoric that puts the community at risk. I want to be crystal clear. Nobody speaks for this campaign besides me. Why is there, what do you do?
Nobody speaks for this campaign aside from me. This is what the left always is allowed to do. There's no guilt by association whatsoever.
Yeah,
they can
absolutely.
talk to whoever they want to, and they go, "Hey, I'm an individual speaking for myself." I'm like, what? See, the whites have a difficult time understanding a non-universal way of treating something, right?
Yes. Yeah. Well, it is their great strength, but also their great weakness. Like a lot of things.
They're like, well, that's not fair. And why would how do the rules apply differently to that person? And so we're trying to say,
well, look, my personal opinion is that it's genetic, basically. Right?
Feels like it.
The same instincts in white populations that are now being savagely taken advantage of are the very same things that allowed those societies to prosper. You just shouldn't have let other people in, quite frankly. Because
we didn't. Somebody
else.
else.
Well, yeah, right. But you know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
This whole idea that you can socialize different genetic populations is bullshit. It's clearly bullshit, and it's weird because it looks like there's a serious possibility that a number of countries might go under due to this ideology, which ranks it up there with shit like Lysenkoism. If you think about it, right? Causing like massive famines and stuff like that because you refuse to acknowledge reality. And I think a big part of the problem is letting women into these positions of power.
Right. I mean, very quickly, civility probably breeds an affinity for fairness.
Yes.
Safety and civility probably that would be a natural conclusion of then you can focus on things being fair, so to speak.
Well, there's another factor I think that's overlooked, which is the decline of testosterone. I was reading this quite interesting study. Did you know that one of the big effects of testosterone is that you won't lie to please other people? They did a bunch of like tests on this, okay? And they discovered that people who have high testosterone will not engage in deceptive reputation strategies, was the way that they framed it, okay?
Which is pretty effeminate.
Yeah, well, it is. But deceptive reputation strategies, i.e. lying for social advancement, is sort of like the bedrock of how communism works, if you think about it. And in my opinion, this is one of the reasons why they went after smoking so hard, because nicotine raises free testosterone levels. So the more they convince people not to take nicotine, and the more they convince them to smoke weed and eat the soy, the more these people will engage in these essentially feminized, deceptive reputation strategies. So testosterone, it doesn't make you like more intelligent or whatever, but it does mean that if the test that they did was they got someone to do something while they were being watched by, I think it was by 2 women.
Mm-hmm.
And the low testosterone group changed the outcome depending on what the women were expecting, and the high testosterone group did not.
Interesting.
Place Americans and Europeans in their own countries and then vote for ethnic policies that benefit each other. That's the reason why they care about affordability. They don't care about affordability because they love the country. They don't care about affordability because they want to, make life easier for the average person. No, this is all a means to an ends, and the ends is to enact basically their version of Islamic, communist, fascist, take your pick, right? Control. And the best way to do that is to import people from countries where that's the norm, right? And also people that are like them that will vote on ethnic guidelines, like we see with obviously Minnesota, right, with the Somalians. So, and you saw this also with Arabs voting for him. I saw something about how like 94% of Arabs voted for Abdul al-Said. There is obviously a huge racial bias that's going on here. And that is the reason why these people are trying to do affordability. That's why. It's not because they care about America. It's because this is a means to an ends for them to subvert America. Now, there are plenty of ways to care about America without wanting to flood it with 1 million illegal aliens and a bunch of...
He just kills it. Just kills it to his normie audience. Very well put. Now, it's good for him to not go crazy into all the Moose stuff, right? That's the norm. That is the normie access point.
Mm-hmm.
And that's an excellent overview. So, now, I gotta show you Hasan watching Candace react to what Hasan has said about her. He called her queen. He's like, I love what you're doing. You're just helping the left. Imagine if a foaming communist loved what you were doing, Fist. Would you think to yourself, wait a minute, what am I doing where a communist is aligning with me right now? Wouldn't that be like something go off in your brain, kind of?
I would be very, very, very surprised if the communists supported me in any way, shape, or form, because I'm not a social constructivist.
You'd want to... this will be a fine test.
Okay.
This will be good.
And apparently, I learned in this clip that I'm about to show you that Blake Neff tweeted, because it's a new line of attack against me. Here's what Blake Neff wrote. He wrote, Hasan Piker is openly celebrating Candace Owens, calling her a queen because she single-handedly undermined the effort to martyrize Charlie to go after the violent radical left.
And this is what Andrew Wilson's been pushing back against, because it is attacking his legacy, and his legacy is tied to TPUSA, which is the largest institution that, even if they're Zionist, people on the right have, in terms of taking up space, visibility, and feeling like they're not going to be murdered by commies. Okay, That is the function of that institution. In the largest capacity in the United States.
Hasan says that Tyler Robinson probably did it, but my heart says go, Candace, go, because she is helping the left so much. The radical, pro-violence left knows exactly what a gift Candace and her ilk are to them. Okay, so I would like to actually hear, or have you guys hear, what Hasan Piker said, and I would like to respond to this, since they're all pushing this around, because we're supposed to accept the Fed slop of left versus right. And again, you're going to...
The Fed slop of left versus right. So her audience thinks it's Fed slop for left, right.
Hang on. So the idea that there is a left and a right is Fed slop. What? Because it's meant to keep people divided, man. And
this is like James Lindsay. Yeah,
we're all the same, man. And fucking I mean, look, I get it. Okay, right? Like the US as like a two-party system is one of the reasons why there is this sort of constant left-right thing. But these are irreconcilable differences. If they were reconcilable, they would have been fucking reconciled by now. The gulf between them just grows larger and larger and larger.
See, you're thinking in the dialectic, okay? You
Right.
gotta remove yourself from the dialectic.
Right.
Now, here's what I understand, okay? Now, democracy is gay. I understand that. But why would I support just no one trying to fight the left within the current paradigm? I appreciate accelerationism, and incrementalism. I want our accelerationism and our incrementalism to work in tandem much more like how the Moos and the left do it. Does this make sense to you, right?
Yeah.
So obviously, we don't agree, but you still support Restore, and you're not going to be like, I don't support Restore. I don't care. Democracy's dumb. This is what I'm trying to get past on the dissident right?
Look, man, I at this point, right, I would support anyone who has a stable platform for trying to unfuck the UK. And Restore are the only people that have it because they're not hard social constructivists, right? Like
It's a good guiding principle. I'm liking that.
They're not saying like, oh, look, if we invited all of Africa over and we gave them like hot cocoa and, nummies and belly kisses, right? They'd all become English. It's so retarded on the face of it. Like what the, oh God. Oh, it hurts.
Yes. So understand, okay, for the people that think that Candace is having a normal one, whatever you think about her that's positive somehow, okay? Let me just show you where this is leading. I've made a video on it. We've done a stream on it in terms of the third party that is being postulated, where there is no left and right, and they're going to work with the left.
Actually, Ardy, I got a comment on Twitter from someone saying that by trashing the third party, we are encouraging division. So maybe you should stop and think about that.
Shut the fuck up, Steve! Yeah, I'm James Lindsay. Shut the fuck up, Fist! I can imagine that's how he typed it.
What is this? Mate, we get this in the UK like all the time, right? Like, oh my God, you're just fostering division. Dude, the division is already here. It has been here for like ages. Like what the fuck are you like talking about? Oh, sorry, go on.
Yeah, but this is I'm trying to mend this bridge on the dissident right.
Okay.
Hear him say that I've had him blocked for years, so it's even more ridiculous that they're trying to pretend or allude to the idea.
It's true, she has. Candace, unblock me, queen.
He's loving
this partnership between me and Hasan Piker. But take a listen to what he says.
I can't speak out against this queen because this is a queen that successfully and single-handedly undermined the Republican initiative to martyrize Charlie Kirk and use that example to crack down. Dude, you know what's really funny? All these people posted this clip and like half of them were like, I can't believe I'm agreeing with them. Like Ben Shapiro did a fucking video about agreeing with me on this. And then everyone in the comments were like, oh, this guy's so stupid. Why is he revealing it? It's like, yeah, it doesn't matter, dumbass. I'm right, but who cares? It doesn't matter.
Doesn't he sound smart? Doesn't he sound... I can't reaffirm this enough. Our enemies are not intelligent. They have power. Okay? Sure, some of them are kind of smart. On the whole, though, okay, they make a lot of mistakes that we all see all the time.
You know what I mean? Like all of these people, they're like, I cannot believe Hasan Piker is just admitting this. Is he fucking stupid? Like for so many of these people, they don't realize like, maybe I just had the wrong opinion of this dude. Maybe he is capable of critical thinking. It's always funny. Like their immediate reaction is just, wow, what an idiot. Can't believe he just openly fucking admitted.
He doesn't understand that a lot of people on the right were saying the same thing. He thinks he came up with it on his own. I love it.
Admit it, dude. I'm always going to say the truth. It's that simple.
Yes, sir.
Did Hasan just claim he was funny?
Yeah, and intelligent. He's funny and smart. You didn't know that?
No.
Oh.
Is there evidence of this intelligence and comedy chops circulating? I certainly haven't seen it. I mean, I don't watch him, I suppose.
Well, no, he's not much of an evidence guy. Think of Mao. It's like that.
Right.
It's through power, not through any sort of merit.
Right.
Yeah.
You just threaten to destroy anyone who counter signals. You kind of
he's been doxing people all day. He's allowed to openly dox people on his giant platform with 40,000 live viewers. Yeah.
Right. Well,
power.
Imagine if the roles were reversed.
I can't.
On political dissent. She dropped a grenade on the discourse. You understand? So I'm with her. It's hard. It's hard for me. My brain says, no, it's probably Tyler Robinson. But my heart says, go, Candace, go. Keep cooking. You know? Does that make sense? I can't like her tweets because she blocked me many, many years ago. This is before she became our hero. Okay? Many, many years ago, Candace Owens blocked me. I've not been a fan of Candace Owens.
Now, is Candace Owens's narcissism going to allow her to look past the positive things he's saying about her, calling her a hero, even though he's doing it backhandedly? Do you think she's going to hear that? And it's going to, obviously, it's not going to have any effect on her, right?
She's doing the face.
Yeah.
Right? She's doing the strong black face, right? She's Martin Luther King up in this business. Like, how many times have you seen that face, right? The noble.
Well, they all do look alike, so a lot.
I am a fan now.
I'm not exactly sure what I am supposed to have a problem with.
She has no idea what she's supposed to have a problem with. I love it. He called me a hero. He said nice things about me. It's all her brain can possibly hear. Let's hear the justification here.
This is kind of the running themes of what we are seeing in Brandy Zajazny's article, is that essentially they are saying Candace ruined an opportunity to pin this on the left, however wrongly, to unite the Republican.
Our enemies pin anything they can on the right in any capacity. I don't care if Tyler Robinson was a troon or not. We are pinning that on the left. And if you people want to be fair to people that are unfair, I don't care. And if things that we say are sometimes 5 to 10% wrong, I don't care, and I'm going to ignore them. Does everybody understand what the fuck I'm saying? I'm so done with this. I'm not being fair to unfair people. I will lie and sweep for my side, because that is what they are doing. Yeah, but technically, how do we know they were on the left, though? I mean, technically, let's be fair.
Are you saying you want your friends to win and your enemies to lose? Isn't that a bit hypocritical?
Well, let's hold on. Let's not make this a left and right thing. Now, I could be on the left where they hate white people. And if I want to like white people, I have to be on the right. Now, you could explain this observable reality to a fucking 15-year-old.
Yeah.
But let's not bring that up, okay? It's top down. It's us against the elites. Now they're both saying the elites. Now, would it surprise you if the communist means capitalists and the fucking useless, stupid, idiot retard just thinks that it's whatever Alex Jones says when he says elites? They're using the same language, but does she really think that they have the same meaning? You fucking idiot. How are you in this position of power? It has to be manufactured, dude. This is okay. Let us continue.
To create this sort of Republican initiative to just start attacking the left, however wrongly, doesn't really matter, after Republicans were kind of fractured because people actually care about pedophilia on the right. The Epstein files mattered.
Matter of principle. See?
And we weren't accepting this idea. Get focused. Midterms are around the corner. Ignore the Epstein files. We said, no, we are not going to ignore children being harmed. We're not going to see ourselves as just Trump supporters who should be supporting him no matter what. Even when he effectively ran, you could certainly say Vance, everyone around him constantly said, as soon as we get in there, here's what we're going to do with the Epstein files. Kash Patel, his administration was running on something that we cared about. This is what they're essentially saying. They're saying you ruined an opportunity to, however wrongly, have us unite around Charlie's death and stomp out the left for something that they didn't actually do. Now,
this is how you become controlled opposition right here, dude. Wow, you're going to put... Oh, my God. It's what Anna Kasparian said. The right was politicizing a political assassination. Oh, my God, dude. We can't do anything. We always have to be liberalism and fair. Always. That's what the right has to be. We are sentenced to a lifetime. It's worse than a death sentence. A liberalism sentence where we always have to be fair and principled, okay? We can't ever play dirty. We can't play 10% dirty as our enemies play 1,000% dirty. I'm so past it.
Here's what I'm going to say.
It is our ordeal of civility, as it were.
Oh, my Lord.
for backs of the left. All I did here was pursue truth. I didn't do this for the left. I didn't do this for the right. I did this for my friend Charlie Kirk because I want to know who actually killed him, and I am not convinced.
You know, when I look for someone to pursue truth, it's a rich, pregnant black woman. That's who I go to when I want the truth. Okay? Sure, some people may say that's possibly the most emotional species known to man, but that's where I get my truth from.
This had anything to do with LGBTQ rights. If I did,
Bro, this is gonna hit that Mom from That Family podcast, dude. We just unlocked an entirely new base. We unlocked the radical, true crime loving wine mom.
Yes,
this is big. This is huge. This might be the biggest base that we've unlocked.
He loves
not left, not right, simply carrying the flame.
If I was convinced,
I don't like when Candace does something that my enemy does when she's claiming to be on my side. That's a very easy opinion, I think, to understand.
So I would certainly.
Mate, that's a very turbulent base, right? Your true crime loving wine mums is not what I would regard as like a stable political base. I mean, what crazy shit are they going to be on next? I suppose they're all wrapped up in the Lindsay Clancy trial at the moment.
Hey, yeah. I'm known for calling some things rather early. The Crucible has been on this fucking crazy shit since April, dude. Fucking absolutely vindicated.
Be the biggest voice against it. I think you guys probably know that. But I want you to remember this, because this is not the first time, as what Hasan is describing, we had an event that could potentially, I'll say allegedly, be coordinated by the feds, which was meant to cause a left-right.
And here it is, possibility versus plausibility. She does not understand inferential reasoning. She thinks inferential means intuitive. She thinks it means intuition, I swear. So, since we don't trust the government, and then now we really prey on people's neuroses, right? That's how this rhetoric goes down very quickly. I have had people in my audience that are like, dude, you got to watch Baron Coleman. And I'm like, every time I watch him, I have to make another stream on how fucking retarded he is. Can you please just tell me the argument? Please, just tell me what he said. No, you got to watch fucking 500 hours of him. Oh, I feel better. This is good. This is therapeutic for me right now.
War. Here is your homework, Hasan Piker. Look into what actually happened on January 6th. You took the bait. The left took the bait. Okay, this was a different world. Yeah, I would say in 2020, I think that's when that happened, January 6th, 2020.
No, it happened in 2021. That's crazy.
And he gets a dunk on her still. He gets another dunk on her. She was like, I think Jan 6 was in 2020. He's like, no, it was 2021. She's giving the left layups as she's willing to work with them. It is the exact opposite of what I want to happen.
Did she just say the left took the bait?
Yeah.
On January, like, what the fuck?
Incoherent.
What does this even mean?
You can't understand the truth. You know what, Fizz? It sounds like you haven't watched 2,000 hours of Baron Coleman. That's your issue.
Listen, mate. I value my not having brain cancer too much.
That's your issue.
To watch this crap, like I can't even follow what she's saying, man.
She said, do your homework, and then gave the wrong assignment. Also, I was there. Like, not physically there, but I literally was.
Really, to induce your brain cancer, I want you to know it's not an accident that we're watching Hasan Piker we are watching Hasan watch Candace watch Hasan. That is specifically to increase the exponentially induce brain cancer to you.
He's just trying to give me brain cancer.
There as you.
That's all I'm trying to do. It's easier. If I could just make you like into a retarded vegetable, then you're not going to feel pain anymore, Fist, okay? It all goes away.
Is it really worth it?
You possibly can be, because I covered it live alongside like 300,000 Americans watching.
Here's a protester who is trying to open this door.
And now he gets to go to his coverage and delegitimize her. He's calling her a useful idiot. And she's watching that he's calling her a useful idiot. She goes, he called me a hero. I don't see what the issue is here. Great person to get behind.
Proud Boys fucking got him ×2. Yeah. On-duty cops, off-duty cops.
It was a different world. We were all more divided. I count myself among that as well. But none of us were willing to take a look at the facts. And we were going, I'm team left or I'm team right. And as more and more has come out about what transpired on that day, it was without question an opportunity for us to look up and see who rules over us and who benefits from that.
Wait, what does she mean by this? Did the Jews do January 6th? Also, Charlie Kirk was there. Charlie Kirk bust people to January 6th. Is that what you're saying? The French? Well, everyone knows. If you're a clandestine operator like I am, everyone knows the original Jews are the French. Come on, this is advanced.
She is making Hasan Piker likable. Isn't that fucking incredible? That's how bad she is.
Is he be like reading Lindsay? Oh my God.
No, because she also said that the French government was after her, and she contacted the FBI about it.
Right. Yeah.
I have done my homework. Everyone knows the Egyptians are French and the French are Jewish. Okay. Come on. Foreign Legion at the scene of the crime. Foreign Legion also there at January 6th.
And people were wrongly arrested. People who were encouraged to go into the Capitol on that day. If we're all seeing now for the first time that there is an effort by a minority, a very powerful minority who doesn't actually care about left.
A very powerful minority. I'm listening.
Right to seize power from citizens. Full stop.
Actually, that powerful minority always advocates for the rights of the minority. Is really how you can start to narrow it down.
Yeah.
By allowing something terrible to take place and then saying, here's what we must get done and here's what we must pass, a la 9/11, then we both sides, so to speak, needs to do its job and be realistic about it. I'm not anybody's hero or anybody's queen. I am somebody who cares deeply about what happened on September 10th because my friend was killed. And I have the sense that we are being lied to about it, particularly by the
Which is why she trashes his wife every chance she gets.
Federal government. I refuse to accept that it is my duty to blame it on the left if the left didn't do it. Left does plenty of things that they've been caught doing. And
It's so crazy, dude. The anti-Semitism is
just play this out in simulation theory. The left will always lie about you, okay? And you will never lie about the left. Who wins that game? Who wins that? I'm not saying we have to lie about them all the time, but can't we be opportunistic? Nope. No, we have to be universal evangelical reformist Christians and liberal. That is our death sentence. That's what we always have to be.
the socialism of fools is just forever a lock. People who come like so close in the direction of the correct interpretation of what's going on, like people who are in positions of profound power, operating alongside their class interest, and then immediately pivoting it to like, no, it's a shadowy group of puppeteers who happen to all be Jewish. That's what it is. Jewish people somehow both killed Charlie Kirk and got him to do January 6th. Yeah. She also ends up saying, no gods, no masters. Like, I'm not your hero. I'm not your queen. I'm just
too highbrow for you.
No, I'm just like, how the fuck is Hasan advocating for his class interests? Isn't he like isn't he like rich?
Yeah. He's over a $3 million house. Yep. And he bought a $250,000 sports car because his chat thought it was funny. That's why he did it.
So
he said,
which class does he identify with? What does he think? He's one of the proletariat? He's down in the coal mines, right?
Yeah. Are you ready? Would you like to hear the answer?
Here's
the answer.
Not really, but yes, all right.
Okay. He is closer to you than he is to Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos. And that's how he gets around his wealth. So he's closer.
Close to me.
He's
Or you can
closer.
get the fuck away.
In terms of money, he's closer, money-wise, to you, to a homeless man, than he is to Jeff Bezos. So that's how he's like you guys. That is his exact rhetoric. That's what he says. And whatever he says works on his audience.
I look forward to him explaining this to Don Quavius. I think Don Quavius is going to like take his arguments to heart and definitely like not steal all of his cars and jack all his watches.
Oh, he isn't. No. He doesn't live around people like that or talk to them.
Oh,
no.
Oh, right. Of course.
just looking for the truth.
Use my platform to go after them. I have no issue doing that. I'll do that tomorrow. If that is the circumstance, if they're doing something radical and wrong, I'll do that. But I'm not just going to become a cheerleader.
She says she's not anyone's queen. A leader who does not want to crown is the one who deserves it the most. She is a queen. Yeah.
For the right. And
fucking
know
idiot.
that they are engaged in something very wrong and say, well, it's okay because at least they vote Republican at the end of the day.
Candace said Jewish Bolsheviks killed 60 million Christians. I know. I think even Finkelstein was like, no. Even Finkelstein, who was sitting there, that was the only time where he was like, enough. That's not true.
That's nonsense. All of us need to raise ourselves above that sort of discourse in the future. And
she's not going to be a cheerleader. Now, the left is being a cheerleader stomping on the grave of Charlie Kirk. But she is going to die with her principles and her money. Okay? She is never going to cheerlead. And this is becoming an issue on the right, where the right is too afraid to cheerlead for any people that actually hold some sort of influence or power. And that's what I'm trying to get past, where it's like, yes, I'm going to support. So then the right's not going to support anything and not cheerlead anything. It's simulation theory. Run it through the simulator. The left is going to cheerlead and the right isn't going to cheerlead anyone in positions of power. Where does that lead? We can do both. Yes, the current system is gay and broken. It doesn't work. Yes, I know. But optically, what do you lose by cheerleading if Trump was deporting people? It's not good enough. Yeah, I know. But who's gonna? But what is your? And this is what Andrew Wilson got into it with Rex Jones, where it's like, so what's the third party? So then what do? We need to burn it down. We need something new. It's a huge risk you're taking. It really is a huge risk that you're taking when you look at fucking Australia, the UK, when you look at Canada, when you look at how fucking bad it is in those countries, and you go, yeah, we'll just take a risk and throw it away and accelerate becoming those countries quicker. No offense to your country, Fest, but see the point that I'm making here?
No, you can be offensive to the UK as much as you want. Places like fucking falling apart, man.
But do you see the point that I'm making, where we're like throwing our hands up? The Ameribros are like, fuck it, we're not going to support anything that's establishment on the right at all whatsoever. And it's like, okay, well, don't fucking cry when you have the borders open back up and the left fucking has power.
Yeah.
It's yeah. So that's what's becoming more and more annoying.
Yeah, I think it's actually happening. So there is something that I would say is a positive that has come out of this. I mean, I don't think anybody would.
Yeah, I think it's really funny. I saw that clip someone was bringing up in the chat. Nick Fuentes wearing his Jeffrey Epstein quarter zip while talking about how Jews are responsible for all.
This is another reason why I support Andrew Wilson. Okay, because I can't support Nick Fuentes. I can't support Candace Owens. And I've been watching Andrew Wilson for like 6 years now, and he's been pretty much the same guy the entire fucking time. And he does really nice stuff for people behind the scenes. I can't trust these fucking people. I'm even, dude, I swear, I'm even fine with like Michael Knowles and fucking Matt Walsh, because they push back against the left and they're at least a fucking net positive. I'm so done. It's just we're making what we are able to enjoy too small on the right. The pool's getting more and more shallow, and I don't see the function of it.
Bolshevism.
It's to me, it's utilitarian to have fun, believe it or not. I don't know if I come off as my epistemology. That's very important to me, but it's there.
All progressive initiatives, and it's really
what
having fun is important.
That's what I'm saying, and then that just to widen the appeal.
Hilarious to do that while wearing a Jeffrey Epstein quarter zip, but it's nowhere near. It'll never be as funny, and I keep thinking about this over and over again. It'll never not be hilarious that Nick Fuentes' entire career, his trajectory, his downfall, and now his resurgence all revolves around the idea that organized Jewry is responsible for everything that's ever happened.
See, that's the issue, is you think it's responsible for everything, and here we have the absolutist argument every single time. Now, is it always the moos? Well, do the moos have a concept of a non-moo that goes to a different heaven that does their bidding and does stuff that they fucking won't do?
Listen, the argument is not that they cause or are behind everything. The argument is that they are a tightly cohesive and integrated ethnic bloc that have been operating sort of without challenge in the United States and other Western countries for ages. That's the issue. It's that you can't take a proper map of the political situation without including them is more the point. Like if you want to model the political situation in a lot of these countries, like take the UK, right? Like it's basically now just a battle between different ethnic networks, really. And the Moos are one of them, right? The Muslims,
even what Asmongold was saying, bless his heart. Yeah.
Right? The Indians are another, the Pakistanis. It's just all these different ethnic networks warring it out, and the whites have just been sort of displaced because they're not willing to use these same tactics because those tactics be racist, fam. You know,
it's not that they're not willing. There has been billions of dollars in collusion between corporations and governments to let white people know subliminally and overtly that they will be cast as pariahs in society if they do so. Okay. I really want to give white people a lot of slack for not doing this sooner. Okay. Because there's been a lot of collusion and pressure for whites to not collectivize.
That's true.
Billions of dollars.
And the Goy beam is very strong in the ones that remain. It's more that there is sort of like an ideological filter to keep anyone who would do white ethnic politics like far, far away from power, whilst at the same time ethnic politics is encouraged in any other group, basically.
When you say Goy beam, Michael Jordan pledged $10 million a year for 10 years to Black Lives Matter during COVID. The amount of money that was being moved around. Like, it has to be historically trillions. It probably is, including the amount we give to Israel. It's $3 billion a year since their fucking inception. Oh no, I'm going down the hole. Bring me back, Hasan.
Happened in Western civilization that's wrong, including Jews doing 9/11, including Jews doing the war on terror, including Jews killing JFK, except for Charlie Kirk. And to me, that is more insane and makes less sense than Candace Owens' theory, which is, no, Jews did everything and Charlie Kirk. It'll never not be funny to me that a guy who literally thinks Jews did all of these things, but just the Charlie Kirk one is a bridge too far. So, of course, his fan base is like, what are you, a federal agent?
I think the case against Israel doing it is, well, why would they do it so risky? They were already very close to him. There was plenty of ways to do it that weren't like that risky.
Yeah.
And then all the things that have to be set up to nail that shot from that distance. And like, I don't know. I'm sure that, and then when we watched the international Mossad assassinations with enemies, it's like, okay, well, they take advantage of the intel that they have.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, that just seems like something they might do. No, even actually internationally, they use bombs and whatnot in Middle Eastern countries. And so, I mean, this actually is not very characteristic in terms of like for a Mossad assassination.
They don't using bombs in Western third countries is very, very, very sticky. You know what I mean? But I don't have enough evidence to make a determination on this either way, right?
Yeah.
Like I really don't. I can see good arguments for saying they did, but you know,
see, you understand the enemy. You would you put anything past the Moose?
No, definitely not.
Exactly, that's where it comes from.
Kirk was also very, very close to Trump. He would have kept telling Trump the Iran war was a bad idea. Maybe it was that. Maybe it had nothing to do with him turning against Israel. Maybe it had everything to do with the fact that they needed to remove all people around Trump who would, when the time came to push the button on the Iran war, tell him, listen, this is a bad idea, and you could wind up being like pilloried by history for like getting America into another stupid war. Because that's basically what happened. All the people who were close to Trump who would have said to him, listen, this is a really fucking bad idea, were like iced out of the administration. This is like a classic political trick that you can do to leaders, where you just surround them with people that all have the same framing on an issue, and you make sort of like a bubble around them. And then once that bubble is complete, you've got like a much, much greater certainty that when the decision comes, everyone they be talking to, all of their advisors, all the people that they would rely on for feedback are telling them the same thing.
And somebody on Rumble is asking what the Goy beam is.
Oh, the Goy beam is just, you know, what the kids, what I call
you're the kid.
Yeah. The post-war consensus, essentially. It's sort of the 360-degree brainwashing program that was installed after World War II, and it sort of colors like every single part of the boomer mindset. I mean, not just the boomers, it's trickled down to other generations, but it was really sort of put in place by the boomers. And there's a lot of stuff about Israel and the place of the Moos, and Christian Zionism is a part of it, and thus it's sort of just easier to call it the Goy beam, because once people have sort of really, really internalized that way of looking at the world, it's very hard to shift them off it.
Absolutely. And so I got 3 minutes left on this, and then it's going to be all you, baby. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Told me Jews did JFK. You told me Jews did 9/11, but now you're saying they didn't do Charlie Kirk? Of course they're going to fucking go to Candace Owens. They're going to be like, no, I'm looking for someone who will tell the truth. It's just so funny to draw your line in the sand on Charlie Kirk.
The line in the sand is becoming between the Moo Spurgs and the Moo Q. Is the divide happening right now, right?
Yeah, I mean, again, this is not unprecedented. Because of the clandestine nature of a lot of this stuff and the sort of media coverage, like the media manipulation, it becomes very, very easy to just lean into this idea that like everything is about them.
Yes.
And quite frankly, they do not help the situation because they frequently come out and say shit like everything is about us.
Yes.
You know what I mean, right? Like they
love need
to say shit like
anti-Semitism. This is an open strategy.
no, they just, like that conference we covered where the guy comes out and he's
Oh,
like,
that
we
one.
are the masters of the universe.
Yeah.
Right? Like, we own all the thing, So they don't help their case when this starts breaking out,
Right.
That's it. They did 9/11, but not 9/10. Okay, here's the clip. Yeah, the Jews created communism. Please buy my Epstein merch. And it's always funny because these Groyper accounts will be like, Nick Fuentes, names who created the left. Behind every left-wing movement, you have Jewish lawyers, Jewish judges, Jews were not the come in and say, yeah, Jews did all of that. Like, it's the same
oh man, leave it to them to make Hasan Piker look semi-decent and reasonable. My word. Okay. The rest of that was just him talking about Nick Fuentes.
Thanks. I feel like I've dropped 10 IQ points fucking just listening to that bullshit, man.
Hey, the lower your IQ, usually the worse your memory is. You start to forget stuff. You go back to the movies, right? Jingling keys in your head, eat some fast food, right? And you're right back there, baby.
Now, this is an interesting thing that happened that is sort of related to the third-party thing that we were covering last time.
Oh, yes. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Alex Jones has just had all of his charges dropped by a
Republican
verdict. No, a unanimous verdict by Democrat judges.
Oh.
What?
Wait. So Alex Jones, if I didn't know any better, Fist, and now I'm just spitballing here.
Oh, you're on the payroll of the Jews.
That's the Dems, huh? Huh.
Now
nice, awfully nice of them.
His judgment has been cut from 50 million to 1.5 million. Now this could be because they've successfully destroyed InfoWars in the sense, right? His views are like massively down. He no longer has the studio, and maybe they're like, fuck it, right? Like, we've done enough damage.
They felt bad for him. Yeah, that's what they do. They feel bad for people.
The other option, obviously, is that they want to use him for some political reason. Maybe, to like spin up this third party.
Wait a minute. So they're going to be helping him on the back end because they want to use him politically?
That's a little bit Jewish.
I'm listening.
I don't know, right? I'm just saying I came across this and, I thought all the Democrat judges would be like, no. It's not over until Alex is literally like homeless and panhandling on the streets of Austin. But I don't know. Anyway, we also have, just to finish off, we got a little bit of foreign policy for you, boys. The EU wants Britain back in the fold. Yes, a pragmatic UK should be at the heart of developing a new European economic community. Now,
this is like a breakup and going back. I can't live without you.
This is because the EU is teetering on the edge of serious financial crisis and resource crisis and everything. They have fucked things up royally. They just said they're giving more money to Ukraine, of course, because, the EU has like more money than it knows what to do with.
Yeah, you don't need energy or a better electrical grid or anything like that.
Nah. We need you again. Ulf Polschat. Yeah.
Incredible.
Germany is sliding economically towards the abyss. Oh, gee, I wonder why that is. Right? Like, the way this is framed, like, I don't know, market forces or like not the shit that you literally did to all the countries in the EU. But unlike a quarter of a century ago, when we were the sick man of Europe, the EU is a different entity. With Brexit, an instinctively correct decision to leave a sinking bureaucracy.
Yeah.
Europe has lost its last strong bastion of the market economy. What the fuck are you talking about? The UK is not a strong bastion of the market economy. Have you seen the fucking tax rates here? The EU has become more socialist, more bureaucratic, and less free. Oh, wow. Gee, I wonder who did that. And even though it was the British who decided on Brexit, Germany played a massive, albeit involuntary, part in it. For it was Angela Merkel who, with her open borders policy, gave the take back control movement its brutal momentum in the first place. Yeah, well, funny thing about that, even after Brexit, they just opened all of the doors to African migration instead. Yay! Right? We Germans owe our liberation from National Socialism to the Allies, and to be honest, also the gift of a capitalist system, albeit a restricted one. Oh, God, they're just like, after like waging like literal war again, like economic war against like the UK for like the last 10 years, suddenly they're like, oh, maybe you guys could come back. This is because like Labor's in power and they're probably going to like do it, basically. Awesome. So they want to like reduce trade barriers. No. Do you think it has anything to do with the fact that all these countries in Europe are about to vote in right-wing governments, or at least that seems to be the case? My personal prediction is that they will ban these political parties. They will remove the leaders involved. The EU cannot suffer any right-wing government that would basically, number one, not bankroll to the hilt like forever and to infinity the Ukraine war, which they are fucking losing really, really badly. And they absolutely cannot have any right-wing parties that would reverse mass migration.
Oh, did you see Thomas Sowell made a statement to the to Australian government? I think they like outlawed him trying to make a party, I think last month or something.
Yeah.
It just reminded me of what you just said. I'm sorry, continue.
So fucking like, like what if Britain reoriented itself towards the EU, right? It would be a new Europe that embraces market-based thinking, is anti-centralist and anti-bureaucratic. No, that's impossible. Impossible. Okay, so they're like, Europe needs new leadership. They have to shrink the EU bureaucracy. Yeah, right. And I want a stable full of unicorns that shit Bitcoin. It's not going to fucking happen.
Let the market decide. Let's just leave the country up in the air. Leave it up to the now thinking about how I heard that my entire life of like, let the market decide. I always thought to myself, what if we're fucked though? And there was never an answer.
The left is finished. Old Europe is gone. The new Europe in the East fits well with a self-assured Christian Mooish Europe. Really? Huh. Is that the new formulation they're gonna use instead of Judeo-Christian? They're like Christian Mooish. Okay. Why must it always be framed like that? They're such a small population, I keep getting told, right? They have such little influence.
Yeah.
Why
a minority, a small group of people is what we hear a lot, don't we? That populist messaging?
Yeah. In short, Nigel Farage or Kemi Badenoch must get involved. So it must either be Reform or the Conservatives, preferably, right? Maybe they could like merge together. This is, of course, from the Daily Telegraph, which was recently brought out by Axel Springer. We played that thing of the guy speaking at the Mooish conference talking about how much of a Zionist he is.
Yep.
And this was unexpected. Canada is thinking of joining the EU.
It's not planned.
Do
your thing, baby. It's on the chain, baby. Anybody ever see that episode of Workaholics with Lavelle Crawford making eggs? I know that sounds random, but I promise you it makes sense. Just buying some time right now. And then we'll be able to watch that. I might have to pull up the clip now.
We're back.
Okay, thank you.
This fall, we will begin intense discussions with the European Union, the world's second largest economy, to build a much stronger and deeper economic and security partnership. Now, we can build such unparalleled access because we're trusted, because we're reliable, and because we have what the world wants.
Right. So Arden's basically saying they've been like banging on about this for months. I'm sorry, Arden. I was not aware. This just seemed to sort of come out of the blue. I wonder what Canada has that the EU could want. Wait, does Canada have oil and hydrocarbons? Perchance that the EU is literally being starved of? Maybe, maybe that's something to do with it. The EU, Canada just nixed a massive trade deal with the US, by the way, at the last minute. I don't know whether it was the Canadians that blew it up, whether it was the Americans that blew it up, but apparently it was like too much, basically. But don't worry, bros. We still have Scott Bessant here talking about the policy of secondary sanctions. You know what a secondary sanction is, don't you, Ardy?
No, I don't.
Right. Well, usually what you do is you sanction a country, right? Which you make it illegal to trade with them. But you can also do a secondary sanction where you make it illegal to trade with any countries that trade with the sanctioned country, right? Now, I believe this is aimed at Russia, which would mean that any country that does trade with Russia would also be sanctioned. So this would be India, China, like basically every country, right? They are fixing to blow up the world economic system, essentially. Because to sanction countries, usually you like yank them off the SWIFT network, which is the World Interbank transfer network. This is fucking crazy.
You described this as an economic D-Day, but D-Day wasn't a threat of an invasion, and the U.S. didn't give a timeline to Germany. So why not impose the sanctions today?
Well, we are giving everyone the opportunity to remedy bad behavior. Why would I want to blow up the global financial system? We believe that it is important to level set and give people a cure period, but they should know that that will move very quickly and that we are serious. Secondary sanctions are a very powerful tool, and we here at Treasury.
Okay. That sounds perfectly sane to me. And for fun, wait, I told you we were going to run out of stuff. Right?
You no, you didn't. I said that. I said we're going to finally run out of stuff and see what happens.
Right.
That was my idea to run out of things.
Oh, okay. Right. Apparently the US is now sending, ICE is now sending people to the Central African Republic.
Wow. That is
no, I don't know.
exile.
I don't know why they're so salty about it, right? Anyone can be a Central African Republican, right? It's just an idea, right? They should embrace the diversity. Anyone can be from anywhere. I don't understand like why they're hating on the Central African Republic.
Y Yasmani, no pueden salir de ese edificio. You cannot leave that building.
No, con el oficial solamente, aquí afuera. Porque ya se llevaron a él a Daniel.
Wow.
Nos tienen aquí detenidos en un centro.
In me in this facility, I'm so tired. So
tired.
sleepy. Need to have a fiesta. Nobody has any lawns that I can do yard work on.
Oh, Fifi.
They don't even have any tacos.
No podemos salir, no tenemos documentos, sufriendo por nuestra familia, en un continente que no conocemos, otra cultura. Hay mucha violencia aquí en la calle, no podemos salir.
Los Estados Unidos nunca te avisó que te iban a
So what is
deportar
being
a
said
África.
here for the people
So
listening audio?
he's basically saying he's stuck in a building. He can't leave. So apparently the reason why this is happening is that Cuba won't take back Cuban deportees. So the Americans have just been like, well, okay, that's fine. We'll send you to the Central African Republic. Central African Republic, by the way, is like the most Africa part of Africa. I bet the Americans just sauntered in there with like $20 million and are just like, right, who do we have to bribe to set up a bunch of like immigration centers here? Would have been like easy to do. Bada bing, bada boom. And where are they going to escape to? It's the Central African Republic, right? I mean, they can hop over the border to like Sudan. Yay, right? It's fucking Now,
it's a fine place. I mean, we get people from there, right? So I mean, that's got to be decent.
Well, I am told that having the Sudanese come here is a blessing for diversity and stuff. So I don't know like why they'd have any problem. I think this is part of shit that's been going on in the background from the Trump administration, that they're going to basically unveil like just before the midterms, and they're going to be like, okay, yes, like the Iran war, like da 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 da, but we have actually been doing the deportations. What I have been like reading is that they basically pivoted from the kind of like very showy stuff they were doing in Minneapolis, like after the deaths and stuff, to a much more sort of clandestine, plain clothes kind of like thing where they're just like nabbing people off the street and hustling them onto planes. And apparently this has been working. Now, you're not going to get the millions at all, but you are going to get like the, you know, the proper criminals and stuff. There are also rumors, which I cannot confirm, that a bunch
or
of
deny
that some of the blue state cities have started working with ICE. I don't know, like, you know, probably because they can do it on the down low would be my guess, right? So the optics of the original shit going down in Minneapolis were just terrible, and so they've started doing it by stealth.
US never gave you notice that you were getting sent to Africa.
No, I learned on the plane that we were going to Africa. I mean, my understanding is that if you contact CBP, they'll give you $2,500 and a free ticket home. You know, you could do that. Just saying.
Were you deported because of a criminal record?
No.
Only traffic violations. You mean apart from overstaying your fucking visa?
No. See.
Look, everybody knows overstaying your visa is not a crime. Yeah, but it is. Like, that's why it's like a law.
Where are the other deportees from? Nepal, Vietnam, Cuba, Ecuador, Honduras, and Africa.
And the whole fucking
and
continent.
Russia too. Pero ninguno de ustedes es de ese país. No.
None of you from that country. I don't even know whether Central African Republic like has a commercial airport. Let me just look this up.
Well, they have to. How else do they get tourists there, Fist? They have to. It's a hotbed of tourism.
I don't think so, mate.
They let you go behind the barricade, okay? They open up the gate and let you go in with the animals. Now, the animals, of course.
Mate, look
people,
at that.
still animals to me.
What a beautiful place to be, okay? Right south of Chad, west
dude,
of
you got
South
the Democratic
Sudan.
Republic, real democracy, the Democratic Republic of Congo, fucking right underneath it.
Yep. You know, right next to the Republic of Congo, next to Cameroon. Oh, mate, what a place. It's a landlocked country, right? Like the CAR is known as being it's part of French colonial Africa.
That's incredible.
I believe it might be the place with the really that used to have the really racist flag, where the French just put like a black guy on the flag, a black stick figure on a flag of France. So I mean, I don't know like why they wouldn't want to stay there. It sounds lovely.
That
You are from that country.
interesting.
None. Están atrapados. You're stuck. Y en Africa. And in Africa.
Imagine putting them in a place where they can't just escape and get like a plane.
You mean like prison? You mean
Okay.
like incarceration and incapacitating them?
So let's have a look at the largest city in the Central African Republic.
Yes,
Bangui. Right?
Uh-huh.
I mean this looks like a great place of culture and
How close can you get? I want to see some upside down African titties.
You know
their titties are upside down in Africa, right?
Yeah.
It's different bodies.
Well, I mean,
look at that. They've got a cul-de-sac. You know, what is that, a stadium? Is it a football stadium?
Yeah, they've got like a stadium, right? I don't know what this guy's like banging on about, you know?
Wait, what's it called? That stadium thing. What do they call it?
Stadia Barthélemy Boganda.
It is a stadium. Okay. And what does it have reviews on the stadium?
I don't know. Let's do a bit of Street View, shall we? Oh, we can't do Street View. Oh, gee, I wonder why.
It's too street. It's too street for us whiteys. That's what it is. That's the issue.
Street View isn't working. What a shame. What a shame. Barthélemy Boganda Stadium.
It
looks lovely.
I need to know what the reviews are. I have to know what the reviews are. I hope they're pigeon. Okay. They're likely, possibly, maybe in English.
Oh, this place may be closed. Well, as in, yeah, right. So it's basically abandoned. I think reviews 3.8. This stadium is in horrible shape. It should either be renovated or demolished and replaced with a brand new stadium that meets FIFA requirements.
Soccer stadium. Terrific.
It's the biggest one in the CAR. I mean, you know, it looks great to me.
This reminds me of something right now. Can you do me a favor and look up what is it called? It was in Indonesia, the Borobudur? Hold on, let me just find it.
The Borobudur?
Yeah, do you know what that is?
I have no idea.
It's a structure.
I am just annoyed that we can't do Street View. I feel very like, what if I wanted to explore the great city of Bangui from the comfort of my couch? Oh, they do have an international airport. I wonder what the reviews are for that.
Yes.
See?
Give me the reviews. Give me the reviews.
Let's have a look at the review. 3.4.
Okay.
Very good airport. Very friendly and open staff. Open in the sense that I felt understood and welcomed as a trans gay man. If I had the possibility to give more than 3 stars on this application, I would have done so.
There's so much wrong with this.
Best airport in the world. Okay, this has got to be a joke. Right?
It won't let him. Hold on. I'm sorry. You have to go back up. What was the comment below it?
This one.
No, just keep going up. Go back to the top. So the comment is, I love this airport. 5 stars.
Wait,
this is a good airport.
This is a good airport.
I was in the air like Falcor
what is
from Never Ending Story. Oh, nice.
Okay, so people are just clearly like just trolling this.
Whoa, what do you mean trolling?
What the fuck?
It's a different culture, Fist, okay? You're European. You're supposed to understand next door there's just different culture.
People are just trolling this airport. Oh my god.
Not one legitimate thing there.
Oh, dude.
Now, this is an important point to make very quickly, okay?
Uh-huh.
Now, the Borobudur, okay? It was restored in 1910. It was originally built, okay, in the 9th century, okay?
Uh-huh.
Now, look at this thing. Originally built in the 9th century.
Uh-huh. Cool.
Pretty impressive, don't you think?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's go to the Great Zimbabwe. This was built in the 11th century, okay? So 200 years later, and it was abandoned in the fucking 16th, I don't know, 17th century. Wikipedia essentially just said, fuck it.
I'm sure it is amazing if it was in Africa, as long as the white people didn't destroy it.
Yeah,
show me this incredible example of African architecture. Wow, man.
200 years later, that's what they were capable of doing. And it was abandoned in the 16th or, I don't fucking know, as Wikipedia said, 17th century? Who gives a shit? Look at it.
Listen, mate, I can't
It's
believe
still
humans
there.
built
It's still standing to this very day. Look
This
at
was
it.
clearly-
You can
this was
see it
clearly-
from the hillside.
This was clearly built by aliens, right? No humans could have. Oh my god! look
The
at this
Zimbabwe Hill. Oh my god. I love it. I love the idea of a naturally occurring hill when they think they created the hill. We created the hill. I'm pretty sure the fucking hill was already there. We talk about the Zimbabwe Hill. Look at that. It's like the Mayans. Look at that city.
It encloses a whole few trees. That's amazing. Wow, man.
Incredible. I always love pointing that out, but we got any supers?
We should do super chats, yes.
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Actually, let me do a Rumble one first.
Okay.
A Rumby baby. Grand Inquisitor, $10. Let's give the man his fucking due, mate. Much appreciated. You lads have got some real chutzpah. I love it. Using it. Keep your tinfoil hats tight to avoid the goy beams. Have you considered doing the last hour of your streams on Rumble to help drive your audience over here? Rumble fucking sucks, and I wish it didn't suck. We've tried something similar one time before, and Rumble just doesn't have... All they've done is make a crypto wallet in like 5 years.
Yeah.
The usability of the site is very fucking rough. I don't prefer to use Rumble. There's a lot more discoverability, searchability. People seem to enjoy using YouTube a lot more. Unfortunately, that is the reality that I am going through. Thank you very much for your support, though, and for the question.
Right. Let's J6 version 2.0 for $5. Thank you, mate. Anyone who says James Lindsay or any influencer has opened their eyes, I immediately doubt if they have ever cracked a book.
Whoa! He's gonna bring up James Lindsay like that. Well, hey, James Lindsay has something to tell you, buddy, okay?
Fuck up, Steve. You're the one falling for the dialectical stuff now because it's hitting you in your soft spot.
All right? Don't want to have to do that again. Patrick just sent that to me.
Yeah. Bon Nom 750 joules. Thank you very much. The Kamate Man. Why so much Muslims in the US after 9/11? Nonsense. I got a theory on this actually. You'll notice that also in London, just before the Muslim invasion, there were like massive terror attacks. I think it was like a deliberate thing to just like traumatize the population so that they wouldn't like get too uppity about it. Leningrad, remember for 5 months. It's funny to see Lindsay and Barry tweeting deport at Muslims. My brother in Constitution. That's spoiler alert. Unconstitutional. Yes.
My brother in Constitution. Let's fucking go, Lenny. I love it.
Mate, I totally approve hassling Lindsay about this very, very point. Leningrad for $5. It's healthcare when it advances their agenda. It's culture war stuff when it secures their gains. Yeah, precisely.
It's culture war stuff, okay? Whatever the culture is, well, there's the same people saying that white people have no culture, calling it culture war business.
Soul and the Lich for 100 Us. Very much. Ardy and Fish should stop streaming because they're talking about issues that belong to Woke One, and Dem's already declared that was crazy. You should give commies power again, guys. I cannot fault that logic. Look, Woke 1.0 was over. It was crazy, right? Let's not focus on who destroyed who. I mean,
we both did things.
Leningrad again for $5.
We gotta give it to him, mate. We gotta give it to him, mate.
We got to give it to him. Thesis of leftism: smoky men bad.
There it is. Okay, he's expounding on an existing theory.
Yeah, that's right. Leningrad again, $5. Congressional left-right is fake. On the ground, institutional left-right is deadly serious. Yeah, precisely. And Leningrad again, mate. He's been on fire. For $5, never seen a clearer example of a useless idiot. I presume he is referring to Candace.
Yes, dude. That's what's so annoying about it is it's actually effective on some people in my audience and in the Crucible's audience, and so I understand the desire and need to push back against that.
Deadpool Kid for $5.
DPK.
To my Anglo and European brothers, 'tis time to reclaim the homeland with support from this one American. Yes, send money and guns, I guess, would be
Right?
Yeah.
Care packages.
Lenny Grad again for $5. Thank you, Lenny.
Thank you, brav.
I'll bet the Central African burritos are much cheaper than $20.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I heard their burritos are $500,000. Okay, they're actually very expensive. It's with $1 billion bill. I love that.
Hurt Chain member for 8 months. Thank you, mate. If you want another Africa gem, look up the Kabusi tombs.
Kasubi tombs.
Kasubi tombs. Thank you very much.
That might be something for you guys to chew on.
Punty Kitten for $10. Thank you, mate.
Punty Kitten.
Hey Fist, I'll be in London for more than a week. Where do I get my complimentary chainmail? You can't, it's illegal. Also, any specific spot you would recommend to visit? Keep up the good work, fellas. Basically, like the center of London is still okay. You know, Oxford Street's nice, Soho. Just really keep an eye on your phone. Don't wear anything flashy. And you know, avoid the ninjas. Look, I don't know what you're into, man. There's
ask people where the closest ATM is. You need to make a large deposit.
There's tourist shit. You can go to like the Tower of London. Don't go to Canterbury Cathedral. It's totally been ninjafied now. A lot of the historical places outside of London are now have now been overrun.
That's a coincidence.
So just if
there's no way they intentionally did that.
Yeah, there totally is. So Canterbury Cathedral is terrible. I have it on personal recollect. Like someone told me like that I trust. So if you go outside of London to old historical sites, just be aware there is a possibility that you can rock up there and it'll just be full of ninjas and trash and stuff.
Yeah, but it's not all of London, Fist. Focus on on the parts that aren't dangerous, you know?
You can go to Camden Lock. It's not as good as it used to be, but there's still some like nice shops and stuff. Again,
you would be such a dismal tour guide around London. I love the idea of this fucking being a tour guide right now. Yeah, that shit used to be a lot better. It's all right now. Yes,
it's true. Be very careful around Camden Town Tube Station. Don't go anywhere near Camden at night, obviously, but during the day you're probably fine. I hope you have fun. Look, I'm sorry. There's not a lot of good
like mad
stuff.
TV sketch.
Yeah. Art of Party, member for 5 months. Can an N16G get a meme on screen? Find me on X. Meme's already there. Rumble and YouTube. Okay, hang on, wait. He sent a meme.
We have just enough time. We have just enough
time to get the meme in.
And fellas, I will be sending you to Jim Bob after this, who is going to be debating evolution, which are some of my favorite debates from him.
Okay, wait. Let me share the.
Excuse me while I whip this out, fellas. What movie? Oh wow!
The chunky Candace.
The more she lies, the fatter she gets.
And I think that's it.
It's
that's
like Pinocchio's
the end
nose.
of the super chat. Oh, it turns out like we did have just enough time.
We know how to we know how to be like postpartum Candace and stretch it, you know?
Yeah, that's right.
Stretch those clothes out. We're pros over here. We got a year under our belt. It's nothing we can't do, Fist.
It's like when you add ramen to your meal, right? Like stretch it out.
Yeah. Does the work for you. What you got coming up, Fisty?
Clan-based life forms on Thursday. Come check it out. We're doing like more wee-wazzery. I just got like a bunch of like just weird like crap. Some AI slop. It'll be fun. Come along, guys. But you can check out the past episodes, right? You don't need to like, watch them all in order. Yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for coming, everyone. Thank you to everyone who super chatted. We will be back on Friday with another Ardy and Fist.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.